they can be game changers. And they've got 8 guys they rotate, try to stay fresh, allow this defense to do what they do, make it tough on Garrett Nussmeier and this LSU offense. You're asking me how they win the game. Yeah. That's what they have to do, is take advantage of being right here in Columbia, South Carolina.
I mean, last week they were the underdogs in Lexington. It was nightmare fuel for that Stoop squad because that defensive line for South Carolina was as good as you will see. Meanwhile, for Alabama's on the road. We're going to hear some boos probably from both teams. Kalen DeBoer bringing his squad to Camp Randall. There's not an environment outside of the SEC that Alabama's going to be intimidated by, but you played there, Herbie. What specific challenges await this team here?
Well, anybody who goes into Madison knows that it's always a hostile environment. You know, they do a great job. Barry Alvarez years ago when I was playing, they got their student body to really buy in. They have one of the best student sections, but you're going to get pelted by marshmallows. I got hit by a rotten tomato, hit me upside the back of the head. It's just part of the beauty of playing in that stadium. I say the beauty for them, for Wisconsin. So Alabama's used to hostile environments, but Madison will remind them of being in that typical SEC atmosphere. And I think the timing of this game's big for Alabama. They didn't look their best last week against USF. A little sloppy on the offensive side, turning the ball over, some penalties. So that can't continue this week on the road in Madison.
Keep an eye on the headgear pick. I know everybody does when Coach Corso gets out there. He's riding a heater on LSU now. Last 5 times he's put that Tiger head on, LSU has gotten the win. I'm just saying. It's going to be a star-studded event. I think Darius Rucker's in the house. Don Staley's in the house. Game day ahead. Rucker.
Yeah.
With this, hey, does Darius have his dogs with him? Because maybe Ben gets a friend today.
Yeah. I hope.
There we go.
Hope so we have to work that out.
Shadow APIs and poorly secured APIs put a big target on financial institutions, but there are 4 layers of solutions and strategies you can use to mitigate them. Find out what they are.
क्यों शौक हो गए ना कहीं घूमने जा रहे हो होटल बुक करा लिया अरे तो ईज माई ट्रिप से बुक करा लो ना क्योंकि ईज माई ट्रिप पे मिलेगा आपको होटल्स पे बेस्ट प्राइस वो भी बिना किसी शॉप के आप भी डाउनलोड कीजिए ईज माई ट्रिप की ऐप और पाइए होटल बुकिंग्स पे बेस्ट प्राइस
It's time for a new era of chicken. A slow roasted era. A quesadilla shaped era. A cheesy, saucy era. The Cantina Chicken Quesadilla, only at Taco Bell.
So this is pickleball?
It's basically tennis for babies, but for adults.
It should be called wiffle tennis.
Pickle!
Yeah,
These guys are intense.
We got nothing to worry about. With E-Trade from Morgan Stanley, we're ready for whatever gets served up.
Dude, you gotta work on your trash talk.
I'd rather work on saving for retirement.
Or college, since you like to get schooled. That's a pretty good burn, right?
Got him.
Game.
Thanks for coming to our clinic. First one's free.
Hey, just pick what you wanna. Hey, gotta pick what you wanna. Hey, just pick what you wanna. Hey, gotta pick what you wanna.
Welcome to your Walmart.
Thursday Night Football on Prime. It's on.
Welcome to Thursday Night Football.
This week, the New England Patriots take on the New York Jets as Thursday Night Football is on.
Making the catch for the touchdown.
It's Aaron Rodgers.
What a catch.
Up against a new era in New England.
Let's go, you guys.
Stream Thursday Night Football, only on Prime.
There is nothing like a Wendy's Frosty. It's cool. It's creamy. It's only $1 right now. Wait, what? The one and only Frosty is $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
With wet AMD, I worry I'm not only losing my sight, but my time to enjoy it. But now, I can open up my world with Vabysmo. Vabysmo is the first FDA-approved treatment for people with wet AMD that improves vision and delivers a chance for up to 4 months between treatments, so I can do more of what I love. Vabysmo works differently. It's the only treatment designed to block 2 causes of wet AMD.
Vabysmo is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection, active eye swelling, or are allergic to it. Treatments like Vabysmo can cause an eye infection or retinal detachment. Vabysmo may cause a temporary increase in eye pressure after receiving the injection. There is an uncommon risk of heart attack or stroke associated with blood clots. Severe swelling of blood vessels in the eye can occur. Most common eye side effects were cataract and broken blood vessels.
Open up your world with Vabysmo.
Also approved for diabetic macular edema and RVO. Ask your doctor.
2 undisputed titles on the line.
There is bad blood attached to this fight.
The trilogy fight to end the rivalry.
Let's go, baby!
The ESPN app is the spot for all your sports. For the Saints and the Sinners. For hot takes and high stakes. For MLB, SVP, all on your TV. The ESPN app. One app, one tap. Get it up.
I'm not alone on this mountain. I've got friends, family, and teammates. Got some doubters too. That's okay. Don't let the world tell you who you are.
For over 35 years, Southern California has trusted one name above all others for their recreational vehicle needs. And today, we're proud to say Giant RV has served over 50,000 happy campers. With the largest in-stock selection in the greater LA area, you'll find the right RV for you and your budget. And you never pay junk fees at Giant. Plus, we're a local family-owned business. That's what's made Giant RV California's #1 RV dealer. So join the over 50,000 happy campers who already know nobody beats the Giant.
I've always said just follow your dreams, no matter if no one believes in you.
The mental process and everything excellent that we desire.
Hey, fellas, time is here, baby. Come in, 3, 1, 2, 3. Gotcha. Woo. Turn it up a notch. He's in. Unbelievable. Let's go.
These are very important files that we're about to open, and the only
Crucial.
man tasked for the job is our Jeremy Fowler. J-Bone, it's kind of weird to say that a team needs a bounce-back game after a win.
Yeah.
But after Caleb Williams' debut, yes, the Bears won. He's got a lot to improve upon. That might be very difficult, though, as the Bears travel down to Houston, right?
Yeah, Caleb Williams looking for some extra yards after throwing for less than 90 yards last week against Tennessee, and he could be without some major firepower. Keenan Allen, questionable with a heel issue, did not practice all week, but he will be a game-time call. And then Roma Dunze with a knee issue, sprained knee. He was considered week to week, but he's actually perked up a little bit, practiced some. I'm told he wants to play. It will certainly be up to the Bears and the doctors to figure that out. They don't want to put him in jeopardy, but it's a pain tolerance thing. So they're going to try to decide that over the weekend, but he's got a chance. So if not, Cole Kmet, the tight end, could see a higher profile. Caleb Williams developed a chemistry with him during the preseason.
DJ Moore, hopefully, good tidings on Sunday when the Bears fired things up against the Texans. All right, he didn't look great, but there's an excuse. It was his first NFL game. Meanwhile, Deshaun Watson, he looked even worse. Really no excuse for that. What is the on-field outlook for him and these Browns as they travel to Jacksonville?
Well, the Browns are relying on the work they've done with him throughout the preseason and training camp. When I visited the Browns and talked to people there, they said, look, we have seen glimpses of the old Deshaun Watson, that it's still in there. It's just a matter of time on task, battling through all those injuries. Last week, he was without both his starting tackles. Now Jack Conklin, the right tackle, should be back in the lineup this week. They're getting a little healthier. They're hoping an overall better performance for the entire offense will help Watson perform better. You got Russell Wilson still dealing with that calf issue, officially listed as questionable, but the outlook is not great here. Justin Fields the favorite to get his second straight start. I know Denver has been preparing largely for Justin Fields. They're not expecting any sort of revenge game for Russ against his old Broncos. So Russell Wilson's going to give it today to see how he feels in the Saturday walkthrough, but it would be a little bit of an uphill battle for him to get back. And you got T. Higgins, doubtful for the second straight game with that hamstring issue. This is interesting because he's on the franchise tag. Contract talks didn't go well, but he told our Ben Baby that, look, this is not a contract matter. I simply have a hamstring issue. I want to be out there for the full season. I'm told that he wanted to put together 17 games for a long profile to help his free agency case going into March. But now you have a situation where Jamar Chase didn't get his contract. Is he a little salty about that? T. Higgins not in the lineup. The Bengals got to find their mojo somehow. At least they have the Chiefs, their favorite team.
Hey, at least you got to go play the team. That's awesome. If since he loses to Casey, they would start 0-2 for the third straight season. Jeremy Fowler with the latest.
All right, Noche UFC tonight at the Sphere in Las Vegas, highlighted by 2 title fights. UFC 306 main card begins at 10 Eastern on pay-per-view with the prelims at 7:30 Eastern time on ESPN News, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus. To order the main card in English and Spanish, go to espnplus.com/PPV. Joe Fortenbaugh now with his best bet for the UFC slate tonight.
Noche UFC main event bantamweight division. I like the dog here in Merab Dvalishvili. I agreed with the original pricing when he was in the neighborhood of -130, -140 as a favorite. So as a +110 dog, that's when I'm going to get involved. Prevailing wisdom is this: the deeper the fight goes, the better the chance Merab has. Well, let's look at the over-under in the fight. 5-round fight, over-under priced at 4.5 with the over at -120. That's the market telling you this fight could go deep. If it goes deep, it favors Merab. So in my opinion, let's play the dog here at +110.
All right, Joe, appreciate you. Here are the odds for tonight's main event. He's got a healthy glow.
Yeah, he does. Moisturizing.
A little handsome there. Sugar Sean coming off a -135 on the money line at ESPN Bet, which would be tied for the closest odds in a bantamweight title fight in the division's 13-year history. Ahead on SportsCenter, this incredible high school football catch landed at number 2. We have a play that's better.
That landed.
See if you agree. Top plays are coming your way. Plus, if you're looking to win money, okay, you've come to the right place. It's just my 10 cents. Stanford Steve's 2 cents is free. He's handing out, well, his best bets for week 3. You know what 12 cents will get you? Yep, nothing. And as LSU and South Carolina prepare to face off in an SEC clash, we're going to go inside the locker room to get them fired up as only we can. Twitter loves it. It's coming up.
Do the Ravens have it this year? Can Lamar get it done?
They're trying to write us off. Y'all got it? Yeah, hard.
Oh, you know we got it. That's right.
Oh, you know we got it. That dog. Oh, you know we got it. That fight. Y'all ready? Oh, you know we got it. Let's get it. Let's get it. He ain't never gonna stop us, 'cause
there is nothing like a Wendy's Frosty. It's cool. It's creamy. It's only $1 right now. Wait, what? The one and only Frosty is $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Well, the gang's all here. Let's hit the road.
It's the Disney Plus Blockbuster offer.
That's right.
$199 a month for 3 months of Disney Plus.
That's a great idea.
Get the hottest shows.
Great. You can say that again.
Biggest movies.
Ready? Hit it.
And most epic events.
What happens next?
For a limited time, get 3 months of Disney Plus for $199 a month.
Join me.
With the Disney Plus Blockbuster offer.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket.
I stay with Cricket because they tell it like it is. The price on my plan is the price I pay every month. That's it.
Get what you expect, pay what you expect. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5.
So much.
That's everything you get.
Teriyaki.
Excuse me? Hello AI. Suggest some good gifting options.
You can gift मिठाई.
कुछ अलग बताओ AI.
Gold वाली मिठाई, square वाली मिठाई, soan papdi. Everybody gives soan papdi.
तुम रहने दो यार.
Teriyaki.
Excuse me?
And lane departures, which do need to get recalibrated when you get your windshield replaced.
If you get a crack in your windshield, there's only one choice.
Safe like repair, safe like replace.
Safe like repair, safe like replace.
T-Mobile's 5G network connects 100,000 Delta employees, so they can make every customer feel like they've arrived before they've left the ground. This is how business goes further with T-Mobile for Business.
At U.S. Bank, we know how good it feels to reach your milestones, but we also know what really goes into getting you there. That's why we introduced Co-Browse, which connects you to a real banker in real time to help you do anything from adding a new debit card, learning how to save smarter, even creating spending limits.
Mind if I just grab the one?
With Co-Browse, we're always there for you on your road to here, because there's nothing as powerful as the power of us.
The SEC on ABC, all day today. At noon, LSU and South Carolina kick up a sandstorm. Then at 3:30, the Aggies enter the swamp to face Florida. And in primetime, top-ranked Georgia battles the Wildcats and Big Blue Nation.
We sure are ready for an SEC Saturday.
The SEC on ABC, all day today beginning at noon Eastern.
You were hired to be a maintenance manager, but everyone really knows you as a repair expert, a procurement specialist, and a problem solver. No matter what you're called, you know who to call to help keep your operation running. Grainger has over 1 million products, including the one you need now, plus the scale to deliver next day on most orders, so you can focus on delivering for the ones who count on you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What storm? What rain? Game day is ready to go.
You can't tell me to go back and drive the BMW when you let me borrow the Ferrari last weekend.
Sometimes you get stuck with an Oldsmobile or a Pontiac, and that's what I grew up with, and that's totally fine.
Just like how you can watch your dog run away for 2 weeks in Kansas, you can watch Edwards run away.
This defender
is locked in
hell.
That guy is literally all by himself.
If he were smaller and purple, he'd be Grimace and he'd be selling hamburgers.
Lucky for you, we get him IRL. That's in real life.
I mean, look at this scene. Look at these guys. Who was spending the night last night? You guys are crazy.
I love the Herb Street segment. It's one of my favorite.
I love
the only thing that would make it better. Go on. Is if we get a cameo from Ben. Hey, you should wake up with us at 7 a.m. every Saturday to get this party rolling.
And plenty more on the way. We still have Fire 'em Up coming. You've got South Carolina.
I do.
I've got LSU.
I sure do.
You are 3-0 on the season, something I didn't know that we were keeping track of.
And you are wearing South Carolina colors, so I appreciate the support.
And you're dressed like a waiter at a nice restaurant, though.
What can I get you right now? How about some top plays?
Yes.
How about a helping of the evens? That's what I'll do. Orioles, Tigers. We got Dylan Dingler, and that's an awesome name. Grounds one up the middle. Oh, Gunnar Henderson showing off the howitzer that's attached to his right shoulder. Fantastic mustache, too. It's funny because a guy named Dylan Dingler should be the one having the mustache.
He probably does.
Tigers win 1-0.
You don't know that he doesn't. Number 9, Enrique Ogunbowale, WNBA. Look at his pass over the head to J.C. Sheldon.
Hey-ho.
And then young Sheldon, one-handed tip to Jaylen Brown. Okay, that'll work. That will work. Storm, 83-81 winners.
We got Charleston Southern versus Georgia Southern. A lot of directionals going on here. Georgia Southern with the return. Reagan Barth with the dig to set up Kirsten Barrett. Off balance, one-handed kill. Georgia Southern won in 3 sets. I can't do that.
Number 7, Reds and Twins. Tyler Stevenson sharply to third. Royce Lewis, diving stop. Got it. Throw from the knees. Start the double play. Royce Lewis can't lose. Synchronized watches. Reds, 8-4 winners. But still a nice play. Nice play from the Twins.
Oh, got some jewelry around the neck. Men's college soccer, North Florida, Florida Atlantic. Ball is crossed. Mamadou Diarra. Ooh, golly. That's a beauty. Look, I count all of the defenders, and yet still, Diarra nets the goal. 2-0 winners, Florida Atlantic.
Bicycle. North Carolina high school ball. Friday Night Lights, number 5.
That was sick.
Tavares Dunn Jr. to Charlie Thomas. Look at how high Thomas gets to
Jump man in the 2-3.
Got the 2-3. Charlie bit me. Eastern Wayne, 20-14.
YouTube original. Marlins, Nats, Connor Norby. That struck well, but Dylan Cruz paid handsomely to patrol that area. Wow. Showing off the bunnies. The movie was wrong. Nationals win 4.
तू राहशील ऑलवेज रेडी. इंडिका इझी केसांना कलर करतो फक्त 10 मिनिटात. इंडिका इझी आता फक्त 15 रुपयात.
हम हताश है क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ इतना इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं है और हम.
What was the plan there, Indiana? Well, we had concepts of the plan. 78-74, Aces gets away.
This should be the top play. Millville, shout out Mike Trout, Mainland Regional. Golly! Robbie O'Connor throwing it up to Lazier Brooks. And Randy, would it shock you to know that Lazier Brooks is committed to play at Alabama?
It would not. We got one better than that? Okay.
I doubt it.
Men's college soccer, it's a diving save. Oh, that's pretty good. That was pretty good. They got a couple woes here. That's Brandon Munson.
All right, that was pretty
Michigan State wins 1-0.
I mean, that was pretty chill.
He did not Munson that. All right, once is a fluke, twice is a declaration of a rival. We're talking about South Carolina this season. Outright winners last week in Lexington against Kentucky. Can they do it again today against LSU? Stanford Steve dodging raindrops for us. He's back with us after nailing his top bet again last week. So, Steve, what's your favorite play today?
I'm going to the Apple Cup, Randy. Everybody will talk about the quarterback, Will Rogers, who came from Mississippi State to go to Washington. But I look at the guy on the other side for the Cougars. John Mateer's a guy that has come in, 6 touchdowns throwing, only 1 pick, 2 rushing touchdowns. He also set the record for rushing yards by a quarterback last week in their win against Texas Tech. I think Washington State can win the game. I'll take those 5.5 points.
Oh, I like that. All right, a lot of heavy favorites out there. Not the 5.5, say anything to bat your eyes at, but who's catching your attention, Steve?
Besides Texas and Georgia, I believe Tennessee has been the most impressive team in the country with what they've done on both sides of the line of scrimmage. People here love that pick. But I don't care. It's more about Kent State and what they've done. It has been bad. They lost to St. Francis of PA last week. I know it's a look-ahead spot, but Tennessee has the goods to cover this number with ease. Lay the 49 with the Vols.
That's a big number. Okay, all right, 49. Lay it. Now, before you go, what is Stanford Steve's cardinal sin this week?
Well, the great thing about today is we have rivalry games. We touched on the Apple Cup. We also have the Civil War out in Oregon. And I am not touching the game as Oregon goes to Oregon State. Desmond mentioned before, it's up to a 17-point spread. And the biggest thing about this is that where it is, people from Eugene really don't like to go to Corvallis. And now with all the conference realignment, how Oregon ditched Oregon State, a lot of motivation there. And Oregon hasn't played up to par, so I'm not touching that game.
Feels like too many points, but we'll see. Somebody knows something. Game day ahead in just moments with that man, Stanford Steve on ESPN. Thank you, sir.
And the game to follow, noon Eastern on ABC at South Carolina and LSU. The Tigers have dominated this series, which dates back to 1930. The Tigers, they've won 19 of their 22 meetings since then, including 7 straight, with the last matchup coming back in 2020. South Carolina, though, won that opener in 1930. History may not be on the side. The Gamecocks are coming in hot, winning their first 2 games of the season. South Carolina has not started 3-0 since 2012, when they finished with an 11-2 record. Meanwhile, LSU rebounded with a win in Week 2 after a tough Week 1 loss versus the other, USC. If the Tigers lose today, it would be just the second time in the last 30 years they lost 2 of their first 3 games to begin a season.
Coach Corso is a perfect 2-0 with his headgear picks so far this season. There he is holding the LSU. Okay, that's not the official selection. We're going to get that in a couple hours. He's 1-2 when he picks the Gamecocks all the time. It's time for us to fire up the teams.
Hey, let's go! Tonight, men, leave nothing. Leave nothing. Burn it all.
That man next to you is somebody that got to have it today. Every play counts. If they hide, you pick them up.
Blow by blow, shot by shot, you strike them and you knock them down.
This man tough. Pride. Take the pride. What more do you want? You are diamonds. Go be diamonds tonight. Everything you got for 60 minutes. That's how you finish.
we first place in the SEC but not nationally ranked? This math ain't mathin', boys. How does this happen?
This conference is stupid. Stupid stacked. Can't even spell stacked without SEC.
You can't spell you lost without LSU lost.
How many times do we even have to play USC this year?
The first touchdown of the season for USC.
Been there, done that.
Game day hasn't been here in 10 years. Not much to get up about lately, but this Saturday, we will be up for
ours. This rivalry is ours. 19-2-1 all time. We've won the last 7 straight.
I'm gonna shoot you straight. You should be feeling cocky right now. We're so good, the only thing that can stop us is us. Whoa, whoa, hey, whoa, you didn't gotta do all that.
Not gonna trip. They're a good team, but this is old money against new money. We're family.
Family.
They don't belong in the SEC conversation this year. They're coaches from Massachusetts.
We know what South Carolina isn't, USC. We know they're not Carolina, and they're not even the first Columbia that people think of. Ever seen a map?
You gotta be on drugs if you think we are not getting our first win at home against them since 1930.
Oh, it's gonna be a sad night and 5 points.
5 points. That's all they're getting. We let Kentucky get 6. From Columbia to Charleston. Give me 60 minutes. Go Cox.
Now is not the time to shrivel up. It's time to rise up. From Baton Rouge to the Bayou, give me 60 minutes. Go Tigers.
60 minutes is a long time, but this one's going to be a doozy for sure.
I feel like it's unrealistic. Let's be honest. Let's turn things over, dodging the raindrops, to College Game Day on ESPN.
Carolina sky we stand, and Cocky is kicking up a sandstorm. Crushing Kentucky built some confidence, but now ready to sharpen their Sir Big spurs for a much more dangerous breed of cat. LSU rolling in, hoping to make Cocky tiger bait. There's a taste of rivalry weekend across the country. There are some powers who are at risk today, but this crowd, this place, these fans, they call them underrated. They call them surprisingly loud. They call it sneaky dangerous. But before the cock crows, they'll have to deal with the Bayou Bengals. And trespassers beware. To enter is sacrifice, because it is Saturday in South Carolina. Forever to thee.
South Carolina, LSU. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game.
Environment, get the vibes. I can't wait to get to South Carolina.
Let's go! And we're coming to your city. It's a college football party all in all.
Well, we rode out through that valley, grew a sooner, gig 'em Aggies, threw our Longhorns up in Austin along the way.
Roll Tide, roll through Alabama, Happy Valley, and the farm in Stanford, Randy Hill, went through War Eagle, on the plains. Rise the big house, the Gator Swamp, 5 nights in the Tomahawk Chop. On USC, the Buckeyes, the Georgia Dogs, go Vols. I'm talking Louisiana, California, Carolina, Colorado, Mississippi, Oregon, Kentucky, are you ready?
It's Reese, Dick, Kurt, Saban, Corso, what that could be.
You can feel the electricity. We love you guys.
Nothing but classes.
College Game Day, live from Columbia, South Carolina, is built by the Home Depot. Proud sponsor of college football's premier pregame show.
Williams-Brice Stadium is empty and quiet now. That will not be the case soon. These fans have been loyal through thick and thin, and a lot more thin than many programs will put up with. But now, the Gamecocks coming off an emphatic win, ready to take on LSU, already sitting atop the SEC with the only team in the conference with a league victory and hoping to add to it today. For those really inside, if you had me first in the pool, you win. Big surprise there, over under 19.5 for the entire show. Glad to have you with us on College Game Day. Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, Nick Saban, Desmond Howard, and Pat McAfee here. I know you love the mascot, Sir Big Spur, live mascot with some attitude.
Yeah, so, first of all, it's my mother's birthday.
Hey,
happy birthday,
happy
Sarah
birthday.
I love you, lady. You look younger than ever. It's been a decade since College Game Day has come to beautiful Columbia, South Carolina. These people have been out here since 4 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I've been here for about 48 hours, and I'll tell you what, the Southern hospitality is very real. And there's one notion you need to understand. We love cocks here. we love cocks around here. This is Sir Big Spur, the cock of the walk around here. And if you say, game, 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 you can get all you can cock for around this town. And it is an absolute honor to be in Columbia, South Carolina. And this is one of the only towns and schools in the history of television where you can just get away with saying, I've been the mayor of Cocktown around here. And I love this place. And today's going to be a good one.
सुनो आ गया RBI का अल्टीमेट क्विज चैलेंज 90 years.
Good cock right there. You see how? All right, enough.
All right. Take your spot.
Take it easy. There's a sign out there that calls me Pat McCockafee. I appreciate that. There it is.
And there it is.
It is an honor. It's an honor to be one of the Gamecocks for the last few days. And this town is beautiful. And they love Coach Saban here. They're pumped the College Game Days here. And it's a big one today at Reese Davis.
It is going to be a huge one. Kicks off at noon just after that on ABC. But some other big ones. Last time Alabama went to Madison Kirk, Badgers were wary of Alabama's size because their tackles both weighed over 200 pounds. It was 1928. Had a big one today.
I love that. Well, Alabama's got to get their offense line in order. Hopefully they're healthy. Allow Jalen Milroe and Ryan Williams to kind of be able to get into rhythm. If I'm Luke Fickell, I got to keep a lid on my defense because of the big playability. Jam Miller and company. They've got backs. They got Milroe. They got the receivers out wide. And Wisconsin, of course, you think of Wisconsin, you think about their defense, you think about their ability to create turnovers. They've got to do that today against Bama, who's been vulnerable to turnovers early in the year.
Massive in-state rivalry. Oregon versus Oregon State. Used to be called the Civil War. First played in 1894, less than an hour apart from each other. Oregon's 2-0, but they've had two very close games. Haven't played how everybody has expected, although Dylan Gabriel has completed 84% of his passes and has gone bananas on the offensive side. Oregon State has new coach Trent Bray, who is an Oregon State legend leading the charge. They're 17-point dogs, but anything can happen in an in-state rivalry.
Washington State, Washington, called it the Apple Cup. Jed Fish, first season as the head coach for the Huskies. Previous 3 at Arizona. The guy's quarterback, Will Rogers, transferred from Mississippi State, throwing the ball with 5 touchdown passes, no interceptions, but the Cougs defense allowed 470 yards a game. But to their credit, they have recorded 5 takeaways in 2 games. Bend but don't break philosophy.
Boston College versus Missouri. One of the matchups today of 2 ranked teams. Bill O'Brien's done a great job with his quarterback, Thomas Castellano, who's a great dual-threat quarterback, runner and passer. But he's going to be challenged today by a Missouri defense that has not given up a point yet this season, and a very veteran team in Missouri. So this is going to be a great matchup to see how that turns out.
And this one, LSU and South Carolina. Garrett Nussmeier looking for more explosive plays that rate down for LSU. Kyron Lacey can deliver that. And how about the birthday boy, Dylan Stewart, coming off the edge? Kyle Kennard can get pressure. You know the Gamecocks lead the nation, having forced 6 fumbles. And in the back, Nick Emanwari, the SEC Defensive Player of the Week, had the pick six against Kentucky. One of the 4 interceptions that South Carolina has this season. That, too, leads the SEC. You know, we've watched these teams, Nick, from the last couple of weeks, and no matter what you expect or what they do a previous week, it seems you just rarely get the same team from one week to the next.
Well, what I see happening a lot in college football is people are playing to the competition. In other words, you're not playing to your standard, you're playing to the level of the team that you're playing against or the player that you're playing against. And, you know, one thing that I used to always tell our players is when I was in the NFL, they made me a cut-up of you. So I was only watching you play. I didn't know who you were playing against. I didn't know what the score was. So you need to play to your standard all the time if you're really going to create the kind of value that you want for yourself and for your team.
That's great. So a lot of guys that heard that message from you played in the game last week against USF, Bama, Wisconsin, where you got the field named after you. Congratulations for that. That was a beautiful thing. I think there was a few hundred players that showed up for that. Obviously, $1 billion in contracts that you did. But this Bama team going to Wisconsin, they were only up 14-13 going into the 4th against USF. Jalen Milroe has been explosive. The offense has been able to create big plays with Jam. We'll look at that later. But have they been able to maintain and really come together around Kalen DeBoer? We'll see. In Wisconsin, they haven't really played anybody either. They've had 2 14-point wins. We get a big test to learn where both of these teams are. Luke Fickell's second year. They'll be jumping around. I'm looking forward to learning about these 2 teams, Des.
I'm looking forward to learning about Oregon. Now, I picked them to win it all.
Me too.
So they had Dylan Gabriel, right? Quarterback came over from Oklahoma, but they've struggled. Maybe it's the Idaho schools. I'm not sure. But now they travel, and they're going to play their in-state rival, Oregon State. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about the distractions that teams face when they're at home as opposed to when they're on the road, they can play free. This may be the game. There's no distractions. They're on the road. They know they're hated by this fan base. Maybe they come together and put a full game together. They needed 2 special teams touchdowns a week ago to beat Boise State.
Big kickoff return.
Yeah, got to get them going.
I want to talk about LSU. Okay. LSU is favored to win this ball game. But I'm going to show you a couple of ways that South Carolina could upset them. Okay. Number one, they play solid defense and they force turnovers, which South Carolina does that well. Second, most important, block kicks. No one in the SEC in 3 years has blocked more kicks than SEC than South Carolina. And the last thing is play for something they really believe. The point spread now within the game went from 8.5 Monday to 6 right now. Somebody knows something I don't know. and that's what South Carolina's going to play for, that point spread.
Well, I just hope that both teams show up. We get an instant classic in the SEC. One thing I've learned about listening to guys like Nick Saban is you get to week 3 in college football and you're Michigan. People are already panicking what's going on at quarterback. You're Notre Dame. What's going on with Riley? This is week 3. This is really, I think, where you start to understand, here's our deficiencies, here's how we're going to get better, and this is who we start to become. Today's a huge day and a big opportunity for growth for a lot of teams.
One of the things about South Carolina is they are the team that made most improvement from week 1 to week 2, which tells you a lot about the character of their team. So I think they're going to be ready to play today as well.
We're going to have Shane Beamer join us a little bit later on. We'll talk about that, all kinds of things coming up. This day has a lot of interesting games, including Indiana going to the Rose Bowl, the stadium, for the first time since 1968. I can't believe Herb Street hasn't had a word with Kurt Signetti, who goes, yeah, I get it. Old stadium, we're going to play there, play in a parking lot, blah, blah, blah. I can't believe you haven't called him and said, hey, have a look at that carpet. Look at the grass.
Exactly.
Utah and Utah State. Bryson Barnes, the former Utah quarterback, might go for the Aggies. And Rice trying to defend the Bayou Bucket. That's a rarity as they play for the 43rd time. Texas A&M and Florida. Do you know Florida hasn't beaten an FBS team since they beat South Carolina last October? And A&M has lost 10 straight road games. Something has to give, as someone once said. Gators going to play a couple of quarterbacks. Thamel will have more on that. In Fort Collins, Colorado State virtually foaming at the mouth to get a piece of the Buffaloes. Some would say they've been running off at the mouth. Hostile rhetoric stoking a rivalry game, and Buffs haven't been to Fort Collins in quite some time. Also on the agenda, the Fighting Irish staying in state, but man, after that absolute faceplant against Northern Illinois, now they got to go deal with Boiler Up. Ryan Walters' team won its opener. Purdue trying to make a statement against Notre Dame and send the Irish reeling. And plenty more coming on College Game Day. We've already touched on it in the 8th. It's been a roller coaster season. We'll dive a little bit deeper into that, even 2 weeks in, and you just get a different team every week, it seems. What are the reasons for that? How can you combat it? And it's a song that sweeps South Carolina Stadium every home game. Sandstorm, how that became the anthem of South Carolina.
Get a little tune in, yeah, you put it in your head, you can do a little humming.
We've had a winner, and we've had a loser. In the field goal kicking contest, 45 grand.
There's been kids protesting and trying to get an opportunity. 200 kids get a ticket. It'll be a random selection. Hopefully we've got a big-time ball kicker for 45 grand today.
They're going to be waving those towels. They start to play Sandstorm. But you know who's not afraid of Sandstorm? You know who's not afraid of 2001 Space Odyssey? Oh, here come the Tigers.
Oh, Michael Bennett's not afraid.
No, he's not afraid.
The truth about DIY is you never really do it all by yourself.
Because this setup took 2 videos and a quick demo. You can change your color here. And all of this started here, detoured here, and ended
down here.
And this pizza wasn't delivery. This was.
I wonder if they do have it.
We do. So whenever you start a project,
don't worry.
You're not alone.
We can do this together.
So what are you working on?
Hey, Lexus, show alternate routes.
Technology that's ready for the road ahead. The Lexus NX.
My name's Jorge Gaviria, and this is my business, Hacienda. We bring heirloom corn products from Mexico to every kitchen. I chose my Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One because I earn unlimited 2% cash back on everything I buy. With no preset spending limit, my purchasing power adapts to meet my business needs. And I reinvest my 2% cash back to help grow our business with new products, like our tabletop masa mill. My Spark card helps me fulfill my mission of bringing masa to the masses. What's in your wallet?
You ever notice the more you try not eating the other half of your foot long, the more you end up eating the other half of your foot long? No one can resist juicy chicken, smoky bacon, and creamy ranch. Get the elite chicken and bacon ranch, now at Subway.
USAA for the military community and their families.
Cut. Sam, I really need to feel that USAA service. Gronkier.
Grunkier. USAA. You could be eligible if your spouse, parents, or even your grandparents served.
That was it. You're in.
As a veteran, I'm already in. You? I wouldn't get your hopes up, son. USAA, are you eligible?
On Season 7 of Fansville by Dr. Pepper, the new era of college football has arrived.
What's it mean, Sheriff?
A 12-team playoff. It's here. And it's getting stranger than ever.
Someone's stealing our signs! Dad, is it true that I was born a Tech fan?
No!
The landscape is
I
shifting.
hate menu conference.
The cast is growing.
I'm a new character.
And the game is changing.
They didn't put Dr. Pepper in this game? So unrealistic. We waited 11 years for nothing!
College football, it's a Pepper thing.
Ion. Electrified. Hanguk Tire.
Are you looking at 4x4s on cars.com again?
I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
Welcome
to the Britannia 50-50 lap.
Think of a new.
Keep the beard.
Cars.com. Where to next?
If there's a chance for what you hope for and you dream for and plan for, how can you stand
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. How doers get more done. And in part by Dunkin'. There's no play of the day like kicking your day off with coffee and breakfast at Dunkin'.
Tradition at South Carolina, Cocky the mascot revealed himself by walking up onto the graduation stage wearing those, it says here Cocky's shoes, but it's sort of, I mean, they're kind of like his claws or spurs or something. Right?
They're the cock of the walk. Say it.
There you go. Well, I don't have to. You just did.
All right.
All right. Kansas and UNLV last night. Now, last week against Illinois, Kansas didn't get on a loose ball. Just wouldn't come to them, and it hurt them. Well, history repeats. That 1J out, 2J out, no, the 3J out, and UNLV got the ball back. What about Vegas' quarterback?
Well, let me say this, that turnovers had a huge impact on this game. Not getting that turnover. UNLV's quarterback making big plays with his feet, but Jalen Daniels not being able to avoid the turnovers really hurt them in this game.
He ran for 127 yards on the ground. The turnovers in the Illinois game hurt Kansas as well.
Yeah, that's right. Matt Sluka's the guy from UNLV who gave them their second win over a Big 12 team. Arizona and Kansas State, Big 12 teams, not a conference game. Noah Fafita, he's got a man, and he just underthrew it, didn't get out quite quick enough, and things went sideways from there.
You start to look at Avery Johnson, best dual threat quarterback in that discussion in college football. You look at their schedule. I'm not trying to get ahead of ourselves. Kansas State's going to be favored in most of the games they have remaining.
That kid's good.
Yep.
He's learning every single quarter.
31-7, the final in Fort Collins tonight, 7:30 Eastern Time. Colorado and Colorado State. You remember what happened last year, and Colorado State has waited 28 years to get the Buffaloes in Fort Collins, and the last 363 days have been the longest of that wait. Festering resentment, mutual contempt, hating every wretched breath the other side sucks into their greedy lungs. Remember last year, it was a game that featured 27 penalties, many of the nasty variety, for almost 3 lengths of the football field. The Buffs pulled it out late with a drive to win the game. So you say, hey, look, last year, that doesn't have anything to do with this year. They might say that. The Rams aren't saying it. It has everything to do with tonight to them.
Colorado takes on Colorado State this weekend.
I don't care if they hear it in Boulder. When I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and my glasses off. That's what my mother taught me.
When they give us ammunition, they done messed around and made it what?
This is unique. I got goosebumps. You would too if you were here.
Here's Harden looking to throw it. Got a man and touchdown!
This is going to be a shootout.
Intended for Hunter, who took a shot afterwards.
Travis Hunter has been taken to a local hospital.
The Buffaloes 98 yards away with 2:06 to play. Sanders downfield, got a man! Horn, touchdown! Sanders open, touchdown Harrison! Steps up into the end zone, picked off by Woods, and it's over! Buffaloes win it!
I don't feel like we left it all on the field because we should have murdered them guys.
It's personal for real. It ain't no more time to talk. It's time to do.
We'll find out who wants it more, and we'll see how far Instagram followers gets them.
You heard the words from Torrey Horton. We'll see if he's able to go tonight. He's been a little nicked up. Now, just a word for the officials in this game. Get the rotator cuffs loose. Probably going to be some of this, some of this tonight. I mean, it's going to be
pretty deep.
Let's go ahead and throw these flags. And before we talk about this game any further, let's say DirecTV, welcome back, baby. Welcome back to the party.
Hey.
DirecTV, welcome back to the party. Now, right in time for a good conversation about Colorado. So I grew up as a massive fan of Deion Sanders. I think he's one of the greatest athletes to ever exist on this earth. what he has been able to accomplish in both football, baseball, and everything that he's ever done, the amount of work that goes into that behind the door, closed doors is admirable and honorable. I think everything that he was going to ever do, I thought he was going to have success at. This has been an interesting little tale here at Colorado. I think he does have the ability to lead. I think he does have the ability to coach. But their team building and culture building seemingly has not really worked out thus far. Does that play into the favor of Colorado State? I think so. Double overtime game last year. And if you go back 1 year, what Colorado and Nebraska did, and take that year of development that Nebraska had and what Colorado had, I'm worried about the Buffaloes, even though I absolutely love them. And I think they have enough good players to be a great team, but nobody believes that they're a good team at this point. They think they just have superstars.
Well, I really think that team chemistry is going to be the real key for them. That's players believing in themselves, players believing in each other, coaches believing in players, players believing in coaches. Because if you don't have that respect and trust on your team, you got a hard time building team chemistry. And when you play on the road in games like this, you need to have a lot of togetherness on your team.
You know, one thing about Colorado and Nebraska, I'm going to flip it.
Some industries are regular ransomware targets in APAC. Is your organization?
He's around a veteran team. Raul is a young guy. He's a true freshman. But 17 of these guys played last year. They looked physical last week. Matt Rule, just for a history lesson, when he went to Temple in year 1, they were 2-10. By year 3, they were 10-4. He went to Baylor, 1-11 year 1. Year 3, 11-3. The guy knows how to take a program that's struggling, build it up, get itself to believe, change the culture. And it wasn't just they beat Colorado. They smashed them with the line of scrimmage, linebackers downhill, the running back taking on Shiloh Sanders, running right through him. To me, it's a personality. I said last week they're 7-0 when they go to Columbus. I feel that even more emphatically about what's going on. That is a stock to buy right now, Nebraska.
I agree with you 100%. When I look at Nebraska, they're like old school Cornhuskers. They got their guy with Dylan Raiola. I believe this young man has just matured beyond his age. I mean, when you look at the things he's done, not just his physical gifts, but reports are coming out that he take the offensive lineman out to dinner during the summer. He flew the receivers out to practice with his specialty coach for the quarterback coach. The things that he's done, plus don't forget, his dad, Dominic, he played for Nebraska. He won the Remington Trophy as the best center in all of college football. So it means more to Dylan being at Nebraska, high recruit, but chose Nebraska because his dad went there and he wants to win. He wants to bring something special back to the Cornhuskers, Coach.
Well, you know, Nebraska's offensive line, very impressive. It's a veteran group. And if you look at every team that we talk about that's struggling, it really starts up front in the offensive line, and Nebraska proved they've got a good one.
That's football, baby. Nebraska's ranked for the first time in 5 years, but they better be careful. Last 25 years, Northern Iowa, they're 0-6 against ranked opponents. And the last 4, 6 points or fewer. Final margin.
It's going to be tight.
Careful. Rat poison.
Careful, man.
You guys are feeding him up some rat poison. Finally, 2 Big 12 teams played, and it will actually count in the conference standings. UCF, what do you think about that? Against TCU, both teams 2-0, Dev.
Yeah, I tell you what, the nice offense, #1 in the conference, averaging 51 points per game, 596 yards. This group is 5th in the FBS. R.J. Harvey averages 9 yards per carry, but going up against the TCU's defense that's stout against the run. Teams only average 90 yards per game, only 2.5 yards per carry, Pat.
Massive one today, the backyard brawl. One of the most historic rivalries in the history of sports. 75 miles separates the two teams. Two football towns battle over recruiting, over pride, over ego. GG, Jaheim White, C.J. Donaldson Jr. ran wild all over Albany last week. That is certainly going to have to be the story as they take on new quarterback for Pitt, Eli Holstein, who also has offense coordinator Cade Bell in the hurry-up offense. If West Virginia's defense can stop Pitt, they have a chance. If they can, Pitt's going to be dancing in West Virginia's face, and I hate it. I hate everything about it.
This is the biggest event of the year if you're from West Virginia.
Damn right.
And I grew up chanting, beat the hell out of Pitt, and I'm not changing that today.
Yeah, baby, coach.
Well, that may be, and you can chant that all you want, but you know who's not chanting it? Pittsburgh head coach Pat Narduzzi, who had this to say about the brawl.
Not much needs to be said, guys. We know what we got to do. Okay, we talk about freaking effort and toughness. Okay, need everything you got tomorrow. Think about the confidence that we have in each other in this room, that you guys have in each other, we have in you, I have in the coaches back there to get it done and get the right calls out there, to get everything adjusted out. Like, there's confidence, okay? We're going to find out tomorrow where we are, okay? And I'm feeling pretty damn good about where we are. Pretty confident about what we have in this room and what we're going to do together for 40, for 4 quarters and for 60 minutes, okay?
It is intense. I hope they continue to play. There's been some talk about that. What about the memories that you have growing up in West Virginia and waiting on this game?
Oh, this is a game that, I mean, it was everything emotionally to everyone in the state. I mean, it was the pride of the Mountaineers. And when you played Pitt, you needed to win that game, and everybody was up here if you did, and everybody was down here if you did.
Way down there, Coach. Yeah, the thing about this game is there are players, like, let's just say for Pitt, for instance, who accomplished absolutely nothing in their careers. Won 0 bowl games, got blown out, no conference titles, terrible college football players is how people would describe their stories. They beat West Virginia, though. All of a sudden, they're heroes forever around Oakland and Pitt's campus. Same thing for West Virginia, even though we normally accomplish a lot of things. I've obviously been on both ends of this entire thing, but this is a massive one. And your entire career's legacy can really rely on this game. Knowing from experience, I hope the Mountaineers get a big-time dub. If they don't, Neil needs to win this one.
On behalf of Des and Reese and the show and the fans that are not West Virginia fans, we've hit our premium on over-under on West Virginia mentions here in the first 3 weeks. Can we agree if they lose today, we'll just put that.
Watch them out. Big 12 still out there. Big 12 still out there.
We've hit West Virginia.
Hey, the issue, though, is going to be this. Albany threw for 300-plus yards against West Virginia's defense last week. Penn State obviously went bananas first week through the air. Pitt's running this hurry-up offense.
Desmond Reed.
Eli, yes.
That's my guy.
And Eli can spin it. It's like, that is a worry. That is a bit of a worry in that particular game, but it's going to be tensions high, dogfight in the backyard.
Desmond Reed.
Desmond Reed, yeah. He leads the nation with 244 all-purpose yards per game, 146 yards per game on the ground. He averages 8.8 yards per carry. Now, last time West Virginia played a formidable opponent, it was Penn State.
Whoa.
Nick Singleton averaged 8.8 yards per carry.
Got physical.
Yeah.
They got physical.
There's a rain delay.
May go crazy today.
There's a rain delay.
Was
There's a rain delay.
Was it a delay for just one team or both teams?
I want that.
Hey, you got something quick on this?
Yeah, the over-under on that game is 63.5, too, so a lot of points should be scored.
Wow.
But you guys are talking rivalry games. Just want to get one in for the board. Apple Cup in September. I believe first time ever.
Yeah.
Right?
Really,
in September.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows about Will Rogers coming from Mississippi State for Washington. I'm talking about the other quarterback for Wazoo, John Mateer. 6 touchdowns. You like that?
4-2. 4-2.
We'll
Let's
take
listen
it.
to what
We'll
he's
take
saying.
it, right?
Red TV
Mateer.
hasn't seen it, but this guy's swinging a hot bat right now.
6 touchdowns, 1 pick, 2 rushing touchdowns. Set the record for rushing yards for a quarterback in school history at Wazoo last week. I like Wazoo plus the points. I think they can win the game. And the game's not at Husky Stadium.
Right.
It's at Lumen Field where the Seahawks play.
Yeah, Mateer had a 68-yard touchdown run.
How about replacing Cam Ward?
Well, the morning we're having here in Columbia, state capital of the SEC right now, Geico Fan Camp. Hey, Jess Sims is here. Mark May wanted me to point out to everybody, he was 4-0, by the way, against the Hey, who you got there, Jess?
Good morning, Reese. Good morning, guys. I'm here with the one and only Darius Rucker. Thank you so much for being here today. Now, you are a die-hard Gamecock fan.
I am.
What is it about this place that makes it home?
Oh, man, going to school here was amazing. It was just the atmosphere right now is crazy. You know, we love our school. Everybody gets along. We love each other. So, I mean, I'm a diehard Gamecock through and through.
Okay, well, now on your TikTok, you said something very bold. You said that South Carolina is going to surprise a lot of people and go 11-2. What's so special about this year's team?
Coach Beamer. You know, he's a great coach. He's recruiting well, and you know, got Sellers at quarterback now, so we're pretty excited about this year.
So what do you think the final score is going to be today?
27-20 Gamecocks.
27-20 Gamecocks. Okay, y'all agree? Y'all like that? Well, we got performances coming up from you right after the break. Thank you so much for being here. Don't go anywhere.
Another group project. It's due tomorrow. I hope I can get online tonight. I really need this to pass. Truth is, I can't do this on my own. Connect every student, change every future. Connecting changes everything.
Tamara, Izzy, and Emma. They respond to emails with phone calls. And they don't circle back. They're already there. They wear business sneakers and pad their keyboards with something that makes their clickety-clacking clickety-clackier. But no one loves logistics as much as they do. You need Tamara, Izzy, and Emma. They need a retirement plan. Work with principals so we can help you with a retirement and benefits plan that's right for your team. Let our expertise round out yours.
Look at that Wendy's breakfast burrito. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, sausage. Gotta hand it to the tortilla. That sucker's holding on for dear life. The boss of breakfast, gotta be Wendy's.
At Papa John's, we start with better. Like our fresh, never frozen dough made from 6 simple ingredients. And our dough can save you dough. Get 2 or more Papa Pairings favorites for just $6.99 each. Order now on the app from Papa John's.
What's this?
Athletic Duck signed me to an NIL deal.
An NIL deal?
It's name, injury, and likeness.
Affleck.
With a name like Prime, the injury like mine, and a likeness so fine, that's a triple threat.
Couldn't we just tell people Affleck pays cash for expenses not covered by health insurance?
If we want people to understand how Affleck helps close that gap, we got to get you to think bigger, coach.
You gotta be kidding.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Affleck is an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
Miss Terry's not gonna like this.
Trouble. You do what I do long enough, there's no going back.
Causing trouble wouldn't be a problem for you.
They won't see it coming.
FX is the old man. All new Thursdays at 10 on FX. Stream on Hulu.
Welcome to the best season of the year. Football. Welcome to the unpredictable, the unforgettable, the unbelievable. Welcome to the 2024 NFL season.
Jason, seriously?
For over 35 years, Southern California has trusted one name above all others for their recreational vehicle needs. And today, we're proud to say Giant RV has served over 50,000 happy campers. With the largest in-stock selection in the greater LA area, you'll find the right RV for you and your budget. And you never pay junk fees at Giant. Plus, we're a local family-owned business. That's what's made Giant RV California's #1 RV dealer. So join the over 50,000 happy campers who already know nobody beats the Giant.
Sold for less than $20.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56.
I got this barbecue smoker for $26.
And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
This is Fubo TV. It's a better way to watch live news, shows, and sports without cable. Watch multiple games at once with Multiview. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
The man from Motilal Oswal is back.
I don't give tips, only solid.
Beautiful morning. I don't care about the clouds, and aerial coverage is provided by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. You ready for the road? Goodyear is more driven. And Gamecock Park out here, we check in on the Home Depot tailgate built by doers. Tommy from Hall's Chop House. Man, I'm going to tell you, that's one of the best meals I've ever eaten Thursday night. Phenomenal. They're cooking up that tomahawk steak and a seafood tower. And there's some young guys ready to eat some people up, Pat.
That's right. I think I speak for all cocks out here. We can't wait to try that meat right there. But one of the storylines of this college football season has been this youth movement. Freshmen, redshirt freshmen, high schoolers dominating. Let's introduce a few superstars in the making, shall we? Nico Iamaleava, redshirt freshman for Tennessee. Kid can spin it. Brad Heupel's offense is phenomenal. Dylan Raiola, Nebraska, true freshman, absolute dog. Jeremiah Smith, cousin of Geno Smith. Geno says this is going to be the greatest of all time, Craig. And then Ryan Williams, 17 years old. Kid's supposed to be getting ready for prom this upcoming spring. He can't buy a scratch off, can't vote. He runs all over Nick Saban Field all season. And then, ladies and gentlemen, this man, Dylan Stewart, 6'6", 250 pounds of pure chaos off the edge. These young bucks are taking over the storylines, Reese Davis, and I think that's great for college ball.
And you know what, Des, you look at some of these guys, and to Pat's point, taking over, I think that Nico Iamaleava has made Tennessee a contender in the SEC and a dangerous team in the playoffs.
I think that Nico is playing at a high level, especially for a first-year quarterback. I mean, he's very poised in the pocket, plays with a lot of confidence, and the way that he runs this offense, you can tell that he's been coached very well. Now, what they do a great job of, Josh Heupel, is spreading out the receivers, so then defensive backs, they kind of have to declare, so it's easier for him to pick up where the blitz is coming from. I don't know. Some of these coaches, they might want to go to some volleyball games, because this kid was a standout volleyball player, too.
Really?
He'll spike it on you, baby.
And he's got a defense to let him have some growing pains, too. I mean, you're a former Buckeye captain, right?
Yeah.
You think back to the history. There's Joseph Scott Galloway.
There's Terry
Glenn. There's Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
Chris Carter. And now
Anthony Gonzalez.
CC. Yeah. All Chris Carter did was catch touchdowns.
Chris Carter was the best.
CC was the beast. Yeah. And this guy.
Yeah.
This guy.
I mean, I don't want to exaggerate here and say he's going to be the best ever, but he could be the best that they've ever had there. This dude is a grown man. 6'3", 215 pounds, and Ryan Day and Chip Kelly said he came in just so polished with his route running, his knowledge of the offense, the way he plays, the way he works, his humility, which is very rare for a high-profile wide receiver. But this guy, I think we'll find out in the coming weeks, Oregon, Iowa, that's when you're really going to learn how good he is.
Wait, what are they saying? We want Saban.
Do what?
You know what?
Dance.
Of the many gifts that you gave Alabama, probably getting a commitment that they were able to hold from this dude, Ryan Williams, was big.
Ryan Williams is a mature competitor, man. He's one of the most mature kids that I've ever recruited. As a freshman, he showed maturity. And what that really tells you when a guy's a mature competitor is he can focus on the things that matter. And for a 17-year-old guy, this guy is explosive. He's got great hands. He can run after the catch. I think this guy reminds me of Amari Cooper when he was a freshman, and I think this guy's got a great career.
You see this week that he told Devontae Smith, I'm coming for you. He wants to win the Heisman Trophy like Devontae did as a wide receiver, too. And then there is a man celebrating his 19th birthday today and hoping to celebrate it by spending the entire day in the backfield of LSU, Dylan Stewart.
So you obviously got to put the Spencer goggles on to really dissect this man. I said it earlier, 6'6", 248, lead. Moves. He's tall. He's wiry. He causes chaos. He gets that dip and gets to the quarterback. He had 2.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles against Kentucky. This dude is a game wrecker, game changer. His arm, his wingspan, they told me, 15 feet. It feels like it whenever you're watching the film. He's everywhere at the same time somehow. His work ethic, his grit, his motor is everything you're looking for. True freshman, this guy. Happy birthday to him. And obviously, Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly has been having nightmares of this man.
I got to tell you, do you know Lenore Sellers today is going with the contacts?
What?
I'm telling you, he's tried the contacts.
I love Lenoris. I love his moxie. He does whatever he needs to do, but these things could be an NIL deal worth millions, Lenoris. Just something to think about. Just something to think about, Sellers.
Well, you can always change in the middle of the game.
Certainly
you never
could.
know.
This guy's really good, though.
Yeah. Out in the midst of this crowd, the Washington State flag, Old Crimson, 306 in a row. Stanford Steve has already picked him to beat
Teriyaki.
Excuse me? Hello, AI. Suggest some good gifting option.
You can.
For the 2-pack that's growing into a full 6-pack.
Well, Reese, as a 6-pack, we know we'll have Pac-12 After Dark in some form come 2026. But the question about Pac-12 After Dark, well, what will it look like when the league comes to light? The one certainty that we know, Reese, is that this league will not have an automatic bid to the college football playoff. From there, 2 big questions loom. One is, what 2 teams will they add to make the 8-team league minimum? And the other is, how much money will they command from a media deal on the open market? As for targets, the dream scenario is Cal and Stanford come back west. That would necessitate some ACC uncertainty and is certainly not a guarantee. They'd go from there to target high-end American schools. Think Memphis, think South Florida, obviously think Tulane. Those schools, though, are making about $9 million a year in American, and there's no certainty that they'd make that much money in the Pac-12. And if they did, there's obviously extreme travel costs to play in a league like that. So for now, some questions loom as the 6-pack needs to grow to an 8-pack.
All right, Pete. We'll look for that coming up. A lot of realignment. Realignment never sleeps. Keep Thamel up at night, trying to make sure everything is all squared away. Taking a look at the best fans anywhere on the Geico fan cam. They've been out since 3 a.m., camped out in the rain. Not only are we giving them a great show, but we are honored and privileged to give them a little entertainment along the line as well. You probably know that one of the greatest Gamecock fans of them all is Darius Rucker. Superstar singer, friend of the show, took time out of his schedule to come and perform for you guys today. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Darius Rucker.
Well, I ain't gonna work today. Just wanna sit around and play. I'm gonna hit balls off the dock. Kick back in my flip-flops. Don't owe nothing to the lender. Nothing spinning in the blender. The only thing on my agenda is beers and sunshine. Bonfires in summertime. Back porch nights in South Carolina. Ain't nothing finer than me and my girl striking up a little lighter. Everybody's down in the world going crazy. Don't know how to fix it, but I think maybe turn on the good times, turn off the TV. Yeah, the only BS I need is beers and sunshine. I'm gonna call my girl and say, let's get our friends and hit the lake. I'll grab a boat and get to floating. A little buzzed and a little toasted. We're gonna hang and have a little fun now. Flying high like we'll never come down. We're gonna go until we run out of beers and sunshine. Bonfires in summertime, back porch nights in South Carolina. Ain't nothing finer than me and my girl striking up a little lighter. Everybody's down in the world going crazy. Don't know how to fix it, but I think maybe turn on the good times, turn off the TV. Yeah, the only BS I need is beers and sunshine.
Here in Columbia, we'll hear more from Darius Rucker. What a treat to have a legend like that. Played Raleigh last night, Virginia Beach tonight. He's here in Columbia this morning.
Beers and sunshine.
Military veteran and USAA member Sam Elliott, I'm Gronk, your new roommate.
Roommate?
Mm-hmm. Wow. I've been trying to join USAA for years.
Gronk, you know it's for the military community and their families.
I know I can't join, but I could live in your house and ride in your truck, both USAA insured. Roomie?
Roomie. USAA, auto, home, life, and bank.
Big Ten, it's an honor to be here. To be among teams with so much tradition. Age-old practices from generations long ago. We'll do our best to keep up. With respect, Oregon.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
This is not a drill. Subway dropped the price on all of their subs. 20% off any sub, any size.
Subway did what? Any sub?
Yep. For a limited time, you get 20% off when you order in the app. Hurry and get this deal before it's gone.
Dog, for $5, these are primetime deals. This, or this?
Oh, for $5, legendary.
These deals, primetime, only at KFC. Way back, baby.
Listen, it's all about winning in the trenches.
Come on, Bobby. You need a superstar quarterback.
Superstar. Always with the superstar.
Let me guess. You're one of those underdog guys.
Everyone loves an underdog. I'm taking him straight up on ESPN Bet tonight.
Good call, Bobby.
Ground and pound, baby.
Y'all lost your minds. Are we watching the same league?
Yeah, let me get a Mad Dog.
Mad Dog? When did he get his own sandwich?
He's a local legend.
I gotta find me a New Delhi.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Georgia on the road against a conference opponent.
The #1 Bulldogs face the Wildcats in Lexington.
Georgia looks to once again prove they're the best in the nation.
Georgia at Kentucky, tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
I'm not alone on this mountain. I've got friends, teammates, and some doubters too. That's okay. Don't let the world tell you who you are.
This will be the last moment you ever think of soda as being a dirty word. Soda! Because this is Poppy, and Poppy is soda. It tastes like soda, even better than others. It looks like soda, smells like soda, and fizzes like soda. Because it is soda. It will be the soda your kids and grandkids think of when they think of soda. And that's because this soda has none of the bad stuff. Instead, it has all of the flavor. The future of soda is now, and it's called Poppy.
Whatever life throws your way, just click through your day.
There he is, Darius Rucker. Now, our special thanks to Wheels Up for making sure Darius could get here this morning. As I mentioned, played in Raleigh last night, Virginia Beach, I believe, tonight. And here it is beloved South Carolina, where Brian Kelly walking into Williams-Brice Stadium. Bayou Bengals have dominated the Gamecocks.
Good man. That's good ball, coach.
On ABC. Just over 2 hours. Some other games in the SEC today. Hotty Toddy hitting the road for the first time at Wake Forest. Rebels have scored more points than anyone in the country, and Jackson Dart has thrown for more yards than anyone. He also is a dynamic guy on the ground. Texas, after beating Michigan, they've got to deal with UTSA. By the way, former UTSA edge rusher Trey Moore plays against his old team, looking for his first sack as a Longhorn. And tonight, Georgia and Kentucky. Carson Beck has been strong. There's a little bit of subplot here. Kentucky quarterback Brock Vandagriff and their defensive leader, Jamon Dumas-Johnson. Former Georgia players. Pop Johnson was a star, and he was a Butkus Award finalist and an All-American type guy. What do you expect here tonight from the game, or rather from the Wildcats and the Dogs?
I think first, if you look at all those games, one of the big things Nick Saban talked about early in the show was about playing to a standard. Not going up and down and up and down. I know Sark actually showed some video of Notre Dame, their loss last week, to remind his team, hey, don't look past any opponent. I think some of these games are that kind of game. Maybe the name on the other side, you look at that helmet, you're not necessarily fired up about it. But, man, it's a real test to me of the maturity of how these teams handle these kind of games.
Yeah, but I think that's what Georgia really has. Yeah. You know, Georgia's established an identity as a team. They're physical up front on both sides of the ball. They can make explosive plays. They have a good quarterback. They were concerned about the running back situation. Well, Nate Frazier solved that as a freshman. Mm-hmm. All right, so, and they play the same kind of defense that they've always played. So if you've ever seen them play in the past, they've created the same identity now. That's what Kentucky has not been able to do. You know, they couldn't run the ball. The quarterback struggled. They struggled in protection. They couldn't stop the run. So I think Georgia right now, to me, is a team that has the best identity of any team in the country.
Well, don't look now, Coach. Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin are kind of doing their thing. 72 zip first week, 52-3 second week. Now, obviously, it's far inferior opponents, but them being able to put people away that they're supposed to put away maybe is a sign of maturity. Jackson Dart obviously singing it. He's averaging over 400 yards a game, 8 touchdowns. They get a transfer from South Carolina and Juice Wells, who's their number 2 wide receiver behind Trey
Oh, they're saying Jews.
Yeah, they still got a lot of love for him. He's great at football, and Lane Kiffin is certainly finding him the rock. They got 2 transfers on the offensive line from Washington that won the Joe Moore Award trophy last year for best offensive line in football. So the line's solid. The D-line has 2 transfers in, one from Texas A&M and one from Florida. They're playing well. This might be the year for Lane Kiffin, Coach Saban, and I'm thankful that you were on the game day set while it all happens.
Hey, Kirk, you mentioned the Longhorns. Now, when they were in Ann Arbor a week ago, coming into that game, don't forget, come out of camp, they got their 2 starting running backs hurt. They bring in this kid, Blue.
Yeah.
He has a fantastic game. They get Isaiah Bond in the transfer portal. We think he's going to be like their go-to guy. Tight end Gunnar Ham had almost 100 yards receiving against Michigan. They got weapons all over the field. October 19th, Coach, when they played Georgia, I think those 2 rosters, they match up kind of evenly. That's when we're going to see where both teams are.
You mentioned Sark showing them Notre Dame. He could just show them Texas from last year. They played Wyoming the week after they beat Alabama. Fourth quarter, 10-10, after they allowed the Cowboys to hold the ball for the entire third quarter.
Yeah.
So they have a little bit of experience on their own. Texas A&M and Florida, both with some quarterback questions. Pete Thamel, what do you got on what's going on there today?
Well, with Connor Wegman, Reese, I've been told he's a legitimate game-time decision in the swamp today. Wegman's in dealing with an upper body injury. He's been limited in practice. He's going to go out there and warm up, and the coaching staff and the medical staff are going to make a decision on whether or not he...
माधुरी जी, और क्या नहीं ताज़ा?
नहीं ताज़ा? सुजाता अप्लायंसेस ने वर्ल्ड क्लास चिमनी और कुक टॉप लॉन्च किए हैं।
सुजाता नाम से क्या फर्क पड़ता है? ऑटोग्राफ प्लीज, अबली, पिंकी, रोनी, चुटकी, गुड़िया, डॉली। पर अब तो माधु।
रिपोर्टर जी, नाम में ही तो सब कुछ रखा है। सुजाता, नाम में भरोसा है, नाम में क्वालिटी है, नाम में सालों की मेहनत है और नाम में ही प्यार है। सुजाता कुक टॉप एंड चिमनीज। सुजाता, होम अप्लायंसेस के एक्सपर्ट।
Dog.
I'm with you. It's like,
give me the Gators. I mean, you got to get it here. And then you guys touched on Texas and Georgia. The third most impressive team to me is Tennessee. I don't care. They're giving 49 points today.
I didn't do a good enough sell on Ole Miss. I didn't give good enough. I broke down every position.
They played
got
a
better.
road game today. We see a little bit more. All right. Tennessee's right up there.
All right.
Hey, we talk about that Georgia-Texas game. Georgia's got to go to Oxford, too. It's in November, long way away. Here's what we have in store. Triple header from the SEC today. LSU, South Carolina on ABC. A&M, Florida after that, and the nightcap. #1 team in the land taking on the Wildcats, 7:30 Eastern time. And now, we're going to move inside the stadium later on today, so we got to have an early breakfast.
Okay. Hey, high society.
That's a first.
This is real.
That's a first.
Reese, we got Hall's Chop House, and we all went here on Thursday night. The only thing better than the food was the hospitality.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
We got seafood tomahawk steak.
What do you have here?
How are you?
The pepper jack.
Hey, Mr. Hall, I'm Pat McAfee.
What type of cake do we have here?
Got good meat, sir.
Cream corn.
Caramel cake?
I don't mess with wow. I don't do this for you, Tommy, but it looks great. I'll try it.
Come on, try it.
Get it, Biff.
I heard you hooked the crew up Thursday night. That's awesome.
I need a fork.
Hey, what's up?
Can I get a knife and a fork? Hey, let me do it.
Oh, yeah.
Jess was doing work on these Thursdays.
I was. Wow, way around me out in front of everyone. I had like 5.
I know. Can I get a... Man,
Guys, look at your cake.
I know, but they didn't cut it. I got to get a piece over here.
That's
The whole thing's for you.
Okay. Sorry.
That was all.
Don't make it happen, Captain.
Mr. Hall, that's some good meat you got here, sir.
All right, listen up. Your fire defense isn't cutting it, and it's almost game time.
Hey, you need killer alarms in every room. We're playing zone defense. I mean, fires can happen anywhere.
Like here. Here too.
Des, you can't handle the heat.
Huddle up, stay fit, and fuel your fandom.
Enjoy the home field advantage at Fairfield. Official hotel partner of the NCAA.
Check engine light on? There's an O'Reilly Auto Parts. Turn left, Tyler. Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you don't want to do the repair yourself, we can recommend a shop for you. Okay, Tyler, let's go fix your car.
Auto Parts.
While others give you less, Domino's wants to give you more. For a limited time, when you order any 2 or more medium 2-topping pizzas for $6.99 each online, we'll upgrade one to a large for free. Get more inflation, not shrinkflation, only at Domino's.
You know, Coach Prime, it's nice to finally have some free time. Gives you a chance to reflect on the important things.
Like how Aflac pays people money for the expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
Health insurance does leave a gap.
But Aflac gives people money to help close that gap. Oh, Coach Prime got one on the line too, baby.
See, that's how you hold up a trophy, trust me.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Aflac is an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
I hope y'all hungry.
I'm glad I brought my own dinner.
This is not a drill. Subway dropped the price on all their subs. 20% off any sub, any size.
Subway did what? Any sub?
Yep. For a limited time, you get 20% off when you order in the app. Hurry and get this deal before it's gone.
Everybody wants super straight, super white teeth. They want that Hollywood white smile. New Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth and 24/7 sensitivity protection. I think it's a great product. It's going to help a lot of patients.
I'm not alone on this mountain. I've got friends, teammates, and some doubters too. That's okay. Don't let the world tell you who you are.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56.
DealDash.com. Online auctions since 2009. This PlayStation 5 sold for only 50 cents. This iPad Pro sold for less than $34. Go to DealDash.com and see how much you can save.
Have you heard? Soda's not a dirty word anymore. Introducing Poppy, the best thing to happen to lemon lime since, well, lemons and limes. It's the iconic, refreshing flavor you crave, but with 3 grams of sugar. Real lemon, real lime, real juicy flavor. The future of soda is now, and it's called Poppy. Poppy, soda's back.
I got some good friends that live down the street. Got a good-looking woman with her arms around me. Live in a small town where it feels like home. I got everything I need
and nothing that I don't. Man, what a morning here in Columbia as we've hit the top of the hour. As we've told you, glad to have our friends from DirecTV back here. And we are delighted to have even the youngest Gamecock fans.
That's right. That kid was out here at 4 a.m.
You got to train the child up in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
That's the SEC, baby.
That's it. And the Bible. South Carolina Sandstorm.
Amen.
Amen. There you go. Can I get an amen from you? $45,000 on the line in Pat's field goal kicking contest. We'll see if we can have a winner to sort of top off this morning at some point. And the great Dawn Staley, natural-born winner, Olympian, national champion, WNBA All-Star. But can she win at making picks? And Jess, who do you have with you this morning?
Reese, I am here with Columbia's mayor, Daniel Rickman. Thank you so much for having us. We hear you have a very special announcement about today.
I do, and welcome to Columbia, South Carolina. We love having ESPN College Game Day here. Come on, let's get it going.
Hell yeah, Mr. Mayor.
It's so unbelievable, but you know what College Game Day does for our athletes, our communities, our colleges is unbelievable. So we wanted to take it up another level. So today, on behalf of myself and all of City Council, we are declaring this ESPN College Game Day in Columbia, South Carolina, and here's a proclamation.
Wow.
Okay.
Come on, let's hear it,
incredible.
We got a day.
Ultimate honor, and I hear you have one more surprise for a special person.
Well, we do. You know, we love the coach here. and we know he's going to do the right thing today, and he's going to put the right hat on today. But we don't want you to wait 10 years to come visit us again. So we want to present you the key to the city and know that you are welcome anytime, Coach.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much.
That is absolutely beautiful. Reese, I think that's a good bribe. Do you think that he's going to choose that headgear or what?
He'll give him the old okey-doke, maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see.
You think that's his first key to the city, huh?
I wonder how many keys to cities LC has.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Hey, look who's here, the head coach of the Gamecocks, Shane Beamer. He will join us coming up in just a little bit here on College Game Day as he tries to continue to have his team improve week to week, which they certainly did from week 1 to week 2, and now coming in with a difficult challenge. A high-powered LSU team coming in with an improved defense, young quarterback that has been terrific. LSU coming in 1-1 record. Gamecocks are headed in to Williams-Brice Stadium for this showdown on ABC at the top of the hour. It's been a theme through the first few weeks of the season. Inconsistent starts. You look at Notre Dame after the big win at College Station. 4-touchdown favorite against the Huskies of Northern Illinois. Couldn't get it done. Riley Leonard also a little banged up. Michigan, totally rebuilt offense, and they faced against the team that might win the national championship in Texas, but they were overwhelmed, and the offense didn't really look good in week 1 either. The Penn State defense was pretty good against West Virginia in a hostile environment, but then last week against Bowling Green had to pull one out of the fire late. Oklahoma's offense was dreadful against Houston, fewest yards in a home game since 2005. Sooners have Tennessee coming up in a couple of weeks. And Alabama, first 3 quarters against USF, it was a penalty fest. They turned the ball over a lot. 1-point lead on the Bulls. Now, to their credit, they did have explosive plays and ended up winning comfortably. The number of teams that have been ranked to lose, already 11 through week 2 of the season. There have been a dozen more one-score games. Numbers tied for the second most since 1950. And it really brings up something that Nick said at the top of the show about playing to a standard and trying not to go up and down with the competition. And Kirk, I mean, look, this has happened for a long time, but it seems to be accelerated and even more difficult these days.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is, in my opinion, defenses early in games in September, they're always ahead of the offense. The offense is trying to build continuity, chemistry, timing, rhythm. So it takes a little bit of time, especially for inexperienced teams or transfer portal where you're trying to come together. So that's not the thing that I think is unusual. The thing that I think is concerning for coaches is the roller coaster ride that you talked about in the A's, just about how it's hard to get a team to buy in, and it's almost a faceless opponent approach. Your teams were very good at that, but we're seeing a lot of, oh, we're playing a good team, let's get up. Oh, we're playing these guys, let's just show up and go through the motions. How do you guard against that?
Well, I think the biggest thing is how do you have a consistent mindset on your team. You know, I talked yesterday a little bit about relief syndrome. You have a big win, everybody's relieved. It creates a little complacency. You don't prepare the right way. Complacency creates a blatant disregard for doing what's right. And then on the other hand, you have these teams that have these tremendous expectations, which our 2022 team with Bryce Young and Will Anderson, great expectation. They were so anxious that their preparation did not always equate to good performance in the game. They worked hard, they had the right focus, but they had so much anxiety about being afraid of.
Ministro, a security di Dagli, da mangiera vena con triglioli d'oro.
Ma ti ora del tempo, vostra meste!
Voglio tutto questo adesso, adesso!
ऐसे कैसे हो तुम देखे सब होश हर कोई झूम कर गाए तुम आए हो त्योहार आया रे अब रोज 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 आना जी तुम आना रे
और अलिया आप जहां त्योहार वहां
isn't as solid. I'm excited to see how college in the transfer portal and how many players get brought in and what positions continue to happen and evolve as the free agency of college football catches up to what the NFL has had for a long time.
Yeah, you guys talked about playing to a standard. That's what Coach talked about earlier. And as a former player, I completely understand because that was our mantra. Let's play to our standard no matter who the team is. But with free agency in college football now, the issue is you're bringing in these big pieces that's supposed to complete the puzzle, and they may not know what the standard is, or especially early in the season, they may not have bought into the standard. So I think that's the issue. What I love, Coach, any team that I was on that was a fantastic or a great team, even the team that won the Super Bowl, we had great veteran leadership in the locker room. There's only so much you and your staff can do. But then we have to police ourselves, and we have to make the new guys understand this is how we do things here. Either you're going to be a part of it or you got to get the hell out. Yeah. I don't think the teams are like that nowadays.
Yeah. Player-led is dangerous. It's like a secret weapon. His teams used to always have that. Yeah. But I think you helped create that, right? The players.
That was the whole goal. But, you know, what makes it more difficult now is all the external factors. There's a lot of noise in these guys' ears from their family, from the fans, from the internet. I mean, and they're affected by that. And you got this culture of everybody changing. Exactly. And now you got to deal with all these external factors. I mean, it's really hard to keep the right mindset on your team. And the more mature teams with great leadership, I think, do have a better chance to do that.
He's talking to Rodney Gilmore, who's calling the Oklahoma State-Tulsa game today. Oklahoma State, big comeback win, overtime victory against Arkansas. Yeah. He says Gundy all week has been going, it's a trap, it's a trap, it's a trap. When do you recognize if your players are hearing that message in the middle of the season?
Anytime you have a big win and everybody's telling you how good you are, that's a trap. Because players are affected by that. And then they don't pay attention to detail. They don't prepare the right way. They develop bad habits, and they start showing up in the game, which costs you games, especially in critical situations when you can't be your best when your best is needed.
To be clear, he said on my show yesterday, he won a national championship, and then by 1 a.m., he was already trying to figure out how to recruit the next class, what they were going to do to repeat and recycle. Not everybody's built that way. We'll see if there's enough people in this younger generation, not that our generation had it figured out. I liked enjoying wins as much as the next guy. Let's not get that crazy, but it does feel as if there's an instant gratification. Can we stay focused? Are we still hungry? We can move away from adversity. It's a wild time, but I think the true programs with the true coaches are going to show up in the end. The culture's going to show up.
The warnings have been signaled. The alarm bells are going off, and we'll see who just flat out ignores them today because it happens every week.
Someone will.
Somebody, one of those Saturdays?
One of those Saturdays. Some upsets around.
Today, one of the great scenes and spectacles in all of college football will happen at Jackson State. Nick, how many people are you going to have there at Jackson State today? How many?
Supposed to have 55,000 students at this game today. Big game.
We were there last year, right?
Yes, sir. They'll see the game. They'll see a great show, too, Des. As you look at this, these two bands certainly go off at each other.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I think the game is like secondary to the band, the battle of the bands, the sonic boom. That's all you hear about from people who are part of the HBCU. And when these two teams meet, the battle of the bands takes front seat.
I was at that.
That's been good, too. Hey, Steve, this Morehouse and Howard, they're playing in MetLife. You went down to Howard this week, right?
Went down to Howard, met Coach Larry Scott this week and his staff. The team is super pumped for this opportunity to play in an NFL stadium.
So that game's at 3 o'clock Eastern time, and Johnny Williams has had a good start for Morehouse, and then Howard. Howard's had opportunities in the early part of the season, pull off big wins. They'd love to get one today. This is the Buffalo Wild Wings weekend menu. Some notable HBCU games today, North Carolina Central and North Carolina on ESPN+. By the way, want to send out our best to Max Johnson from North Carolina as he recovers from his injury. South Carolina State at Georgia Southern. Tennessee State and Eddie George against Arkansas Pine Bluff. That comes your way at 7 o'clock Eastern time. This week, some really tough news for all people in college football, particularly those at the University of Michigan. Longtime Michigan athletic counselor Greg Harden passed away following complications from surgery. Now, for 34 years, he was in the athletic department and had a remarkable impact on a number of athletes, most notably the impact he had on you, Des.
Yeah, first I'd like to offer my condolences to his wife, Shalala, his sons, Brian and Victor, his daughter, Olivia, and his sister, Lynette. And a special thank you to everyone who reached out to me the last couple of days. It's been really tough. I've been grieving. But Greg was, he was a titan. Greg was a person who, he just wanted to build people up. He believed in self-mastery, and he believed that he wanted to get the best version out of you. And that's what he taught. That's what he preached. Coach Harbaugh said that his mission, Greg's mission, was to help people find their purpose. And he was very selfless in that mission. When I was with Greg in Michigan, I wanted to transfer, and I talked to him, and he said, he'd give you tough love. And he said, what makes you think that things are going to be better at another school? Why do you think the grass is going to be greener on another side of the fence? And I said, okay, Mr. Harden, I'm going to ride with you. And I left Michigan with a degree in 4 years and the Heisman. And since then, we've been best friends. So, it was a tough loss. It's a huge loss. The Wolverines take the field with a heavy heart. But my friend, Walter Smith, he sent me a text of a quote, a minister who knew Greg. He said, Greg was truly God's gift to humanity. And that's what he meant to everyone who crossed paths with Greg. So, Greg, I love you. I will miss you. But just like I did while you were still here, I will always honor you and make sure I give you your flowers. Rest in peace, Greg Harden.
Our condolences to you. I know what Greg meant to you. He was often referred to as Michigan's secret weapon, a mentor, a remarkable man who had a huge impact on the success of many, many Wolverine legends. Our condolences to his many friends and family.
Coach Gecko!
Coach T. Laura, Dan, I didn't realize the media would be here.
No, this isn't for work. We're just really big fans.
And we're scouting for our fantasy insurance teams.
Geico has all the top prospects, a 97% satisfaction rating. That's unreal.
Oh my gosh, it's true. True! Smells like insurance. Suppose Geico does have devoted fans. It's not weird.
Jade, sign my arm.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
She only signs claims checks.
The best AI assistant isn't one that knows the whole world. It's one that knows your world. A custom assistant built on Watson X with IBM's Granite models can leverage your trusted data, be easily trained on your workflows, and integrate with your apps. It can be tuned to do just what you need, because the more AI knows about your world, the more it can help you do. IBM, let's create.
Look at that Wendy's breakfast burrito. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, sausage. Gotta hand it to the tortilla. That sucker's holding on for dear life. The boss of breakfast, gotta be Wendy's.
What does an opportunity economy look like? Tax cuts for working families. Billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share. It increases stability and security, gives people a true opportunity to get ahead. It's a very different vision than Donald Trump's. His plans will raise costs and taxes on the vast majority of Americans. We need to be thinking about the future and how we make it better for families like yours. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Order Pizza Hut now and get a free large pizza later. That's a free pizza on your next order. So you can pizza now, then pizza again. Free pizza means your next dinner is covered. Your future self will thank you. Get it while it's hot. Only at Pizza Hut.
My blood pressure is borderline. I can worry about it or do something about it. Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula works safely and naturally with a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals. And it's odor-free. I'm taking charge with Garlic.
Love your phone, but not the cost of your current plan? No problem with Straight Talk. Bring the phone you love and get one line for $25 a month when you switch to Straight Talk. That's up to half off the price of the competition. Plus, the best part of all, get a $200 credit for a new phone after 12 months. With Straight Savings, you save now and later. It just makes sense. Straight Talk. Real unlimited data. Less dollars, more sense.
We've never spoken, but you've told us many things. That you love stargazing, hate parallel parking, and occasionally your right foot gets a little heavy. The Lexus ES didn't begin in the studio, it began with you.
Like this ever again in your life. It's a one-of-one.
A love letter to Mexican combat sports inside Sphere.
There's bad blood attached to this fight. The trilogy fight to end the rivalry.
On September 14th at Sphere, the greatest live sporting event of all time.
Let's go, baby!
Inside 2 hours away from kickoff, South Carolina and LSU. College game day, back at the home of the Gamecocks for the first time in more than a decade. Dawn Staley, they do love her here. She'll be our celebrity guest picker. Look at DJ Griffin there, waving the towel as they will when Sandstorm plays today in Williams-Brice. And they did right at the beginning, too.
The man from Motilal Oswal is back with his timeless wisdom.
Kelly's accent, Lenore Sanders is going to go with the contacts and everything. They got PK knockdown.
They got some really interesting signs here, too.
Well, yes,
they do. No, they do. They took their time. They did their homework.
I saw the one where they beat us in 2010 after we'd won 19 games in a row. That one's pretty prevalent out there. I remember.
See what I'm saying? They did their homework. These guys are on top of their game.
Freight Beamer's in town, too. We'll see someplace.
Come on, Nick. Come on. What you do?
What do you say, Nick?
They don't want to see that.
Shout out to Angel Reese at LSU. LSU and South Carolina have had some battles. No, it's not. It's a Darius Rucker concert. He'll play again for us later on.
That's right. Can't wait.
That's the proper way on the Bayou to spell course, though. Man, you remember back in the day, option football, back when football was real football, the true triple with Oklahoma.
Yeah.
J.C. Watts.
You know, we played them when I was at West Virginia, and the field was so tilted so that they could stretch the field horizontally downhill with speed. You couldn't even see the other sidelines.
Hey, look at this. Mickey Joseph, the Grambling coach, running option at Nebraska, too. Hey, you know what? You think that this is a relic of days gone by in the service academies? No, Nick tells you differently in the film room. Offenses are always looking for new ways to attack, different twists. And in the case of the triple option, it's really just old school stuff with a new look.
Well, you know, people used to run the wishbone, dive, quarterback pitch, used to run split back veer, same thing. Now it doesn't appear to be that way, all right? But you can move the point of attack on the run when you run options. So we're going to have a dive, we're going to have a quarterback fake, keep the ball, and then number 81 is going to come over and be the pitch man. So the big thing is we can move the point of attack on the run, which forces the defense to play disciplined football. Who has the dive, who has the quarterback, who has the pitch. Now in this case right here, 81, somebody takes him, so he just blocks the guy, right, and Jalen runs for a touchdown. So explosive play.
So you got 81, not just a quarterback, he's also reading too.
He can read, and you can also block the guy that has the quarterback. Now, same situation here. You're going to see this guy come down the field. This guy now is going to run an arc pop pass. This guy is going to become the pitch man. Here's the dive. Here's the quarterback coming out. Now, on this particular play, nobody takes the pop pass. Quarterback hands off the dive, but you're going to see in the press box that that guy is really open. All right, so somebody's telling the quarterback, next time we run that play, make sure you check the pop pass.
And so here comes the play again.
Here comes the very same play again. We'll just let it run. Nobody, flat defender doesn't take the guy running a wheel route, which is the pop pass. see somebody not farming their own territory, and you give up an explosive play.
And by farming your own territory, you mean the defensive guys have to take their assignment no matter what else happens, right?
Play their responsibility, be disciplined. All right, now on this one, let's pause this. You're going to have dive. Here comes your pitch guy. This guy can be your run-out pop pass guy. Quarterback's going to pull the ball this time. Bring it on out. They got a guy taking the pitch like he's supposed to. Again, undisciplined, comes off the pitch. All right, takes the quarterback. Quarterback pitches the ball. Another explosive play on the pitch.
And in the old school option, the pitch, when people think of it, was a lateral backward. So it really very similar, except now down the field attack with the third option.
Yeah, it's a built-in sort of RPO that goes with the option. It adds another element, which makes it even more difficult for the defense to play with discipline.
Is this cheating by the offense against the defense?
No, it's all legal.
I didn't say that. I said, was it cheating your defenses?
Well, you know, that's why you hire these offensive guys, so they figure out ways to beat the defense.
You'll see a lot of that, no matter which game you watch in college football today. And if defenses don't farm their own territory, there are no need for field goals. You just score touchdowns. But there are opportunities to make field goals for money, Pat.
Welcome.
Let's go.
Beautiful Columbia. This is Joshua Watson, sophomore business major. He's going to be attempting the $45,000 kick today. Joshua, before we introduce the legend here, have you ever said anything terrible about kickers before?
All the time.
Why?
It's just so easy. They aren't a real kicker. Like, it's not a sport.
Okay, have you ever kicked a football before?
No.
Are you going to make this?
Have you ever had a beer before? Because it seems like it. No, I haven't.
No, completely sober?
Yes, sir.
You never kicked a football before?
No, sir. But I'm going to make it because it's easy.
Okay, relax, dude. Darius Rucker is obviously here, one of the biggest Gamecocks fans on earth. I know you're nervous to meet him. Darius, you have anything to say to Joshua here?
Joshua, $45,000. I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna put 15 more this week, $60,000.
Oh!
Let's go!
Can I get some even if I don't make it?
No! It's America! You gotta earn that thing, brother.
All right.
Joshua, 33 yards. It's $60,000 with another 15 from Hootie. And for the walk-on for Jake, Dad Stevenson, he's going to donate $2,500 to this foundation. We'll donate $60 to this as well. So if you end up making a kick.
Let's get some line.
$120,000. There's kids climbing in trees. There's people going bananas. There's booze everywhere. And you can change some lives. Let's have a morning,
Let's go.
Here's my only concern here. These people need to be ready.
Yeah, heads up. Those are his friends, I do believe. We got a For the Brand shirt there. Darius putting up 15 racks. I like that.
You ready?
Was that because you have no faith in the kid?
No, I think he's going to make it.
Okay.
I think he's going to make it.
You do?
I think he's going to make it.
Good luck, brother. No.
You got no shot.
All the trash you talked on kickers, calling them bums. Joshua, you're a good man.
He's got no shot.
$120,000.
Be ready, kid.
$60,000 to a scholarship. $60,000 in your pocket.
I told you.
He lost his
Worst kick of all time. Worst
Further than the ball.
Worst kick of all time. Shoes over there. Ball is here. This guy sucks. You don't want that again. Sorry,
I think Pat's been saving his money since he had to give away some.
We will still donate. This kid sucks. Back to you, Rich.
Okay. What Pat was saying there, he's still donating to the foundation because that's the kind of guy he is, but not because of the kick, which certainly Gamecock fans hope is not an omen for what's coming their way later on. Noon on ESPN2. We touched on this game a few moments ago. Gundy has been saying it's a trap. They've won 9 in a row against their in-state foes. Let's not call it rival. Let's call it a foe. Hour and a half and change away from kickoff there. Ollie Gordon averaging less than 3 yards per carry after contact, trying to get him loose. Florida State trying to avoid an 0-3 start for the third time in 5 seasons under Mike Norvell. They face his former employer, Memphis. Memphis following this transfer portal model, too. They brought in 29 new guys. Wow. They're off to a better start.
This feels like season on the brink for Florida State.
Absolutely.
For this one.
Yes.
Great teachers can change lives, and ESPN supports the College Football Foundation's Extra Yard for Teachers Week each year to celebrate great teachers across the country. They've inspired so many. Nominate a great teacher in your community. Visit cfpfoundation.org. We've got a lot more to come on College Game Day. Bama versus the Badgers. And the Tide play a little more consistently. Can Wisconsin find some explosive plays? They haven't been able to do that very well. And Sandstorm. How did this EDM song come to be an anthem here in Columbia for South Carolina?
Probably wouldn't be a hum. It's more like a doodle-doodle-doo, 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 doodle-doodle-doo. I'm not going to do the rest of it.
Don't go anywhere. We got a lot more to come on College Game Day. But first, please join me in hearing a quick word from Buffalo Wild Wings.
So, I like honey barbecue, you like honey barbecue. I like football, I think you like football. We're like the brothers we never had.
No, I have a brother.
But does he have time for you?
I guess he doesn't.
Yeah, because I feel like he'd be here if he did.
What's up with your dad, Chloe?
Ever since he got AT&T's best deal on the new Samsung Galaxy, he's been up on his high horse.
Best deal got me feeling like a big old cowboy.
That's a very high horse. Perhaps you can wait in the waiting room?
I'll just go wait in the waiting room.
Ride high with AT&T's best deal on the new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6.
USAA. You could be eligible if your spouse, parent, or even your grandparents served.
That was it. You're in.
As a veteran, I'm already in. USAA. Are you eligible?
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Sis? Is this dog food in your fridge?
It's not dog food. It's Fresh Pet. Real meat, real veggies.
Seems like a lot of space to waste on a dog.
You're all the family I need.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
This is not a drill. Subway dropped the price on all their subs. 20% off any sub, any size.
Subway did what? Any sub?
Yep. For a limited time, you get 20% off when you order it now. Hurry and get this deal before it's gone.
Do the Ravens have it this year?
Can Lamar get it done?
They're trying to write us off. Y'all got it? How hard?
Oh, you know we got it. That's right.
Oh, you know we got it. That's all. Oh, you know we got it. That's right. Y'all ready? Oh, you know we got it. Let's get it. Let's get it. He ain't never gonna stop us, 'cause
USAA member Sam Elliott, I'm Gronk, your new roommate.
Roommate?
I can't join USAA, but I could live in your house and ride in your truck. Both USAA insured.
USAA. Auto.
Some industries are regular ransomware targets in APAC. Is your organization at the top of the hit list? Find out who the top targets are and how to better defend your business.
Own detours. What if curiosity could take you across the world? What if you could join a family and add to its legacy? What if your only choice was everything?
Do you have trouble sleeping? Well, we may have just the thing to help. Watch Bedtime Stories with Ryan on demand on Fubo.
Sold for less than $20.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56. I got this barbecue smoker for $26.
And shipping is always free. Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
College Game Day is brought to you by Geico. Check out College Game Day on social to get more fan cam action.
We wanted to contribute to the atmosphere when Sandstorm plays, so some custom College Game Day rally towels created for everyone here on site. You'll see them in Williams-Brice Stadium today. You're seeing them right now here in Gamecock Park just outside. Great crowd this morning before South Carolina and LSU. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, road tested, game ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear is more driven. Let's check in on this week's Home Depot Doer of the Week. Jonathan and Keena Robinette from Charlotte, North Carolina, just an hour or so away from where we are in Columbia. They are our Home Depot Doers of the Week. Do you have any idea who this guy is? I mean, he's as big a part of South Carolina football lore as Steve Tannehill, Sterling Sharp, George Rogers. Oh, okay, maybe I get carried away because nobody's as big a deal as Big George, but it's easy to see why Finnish EDM artist Darude is a really big deal, and you can get carried away by him because he is the guy who produced and recorded Sandstorm. And as Ryan McGee tells us, every time the first note of that hits in Williams-Brice, all the Gamecocks get carried away.
Helsinki is 4,708 miles from Columbia. The capital of Finland and the capital of South Carolina are near total opposites, from industry to air temperature. But a storm that was born on the Baltic sweeps over Williams-Brice Stadium every fall Saturday.
Yeah. It's more like a doodle-doo, 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 doodle-doo. I'm not gonna do the rest of it.
The Gamecocks take the field as underdogs against the Ole Miss Rebels.
You're producing a game from that position. You're trying to give your team the best chance to win. And we had a list of what we call hot songs when you play when there's a momentum shift in a game. And Sandstorm was on there. You kind of felt that moment coming.
That moment happened 15 years ago. 4th-ranked Ole Miss, unranked South Carolina. Clinging to a 6-point lead, the Gamecocks sought some sort of, yes, spur.
It came down to the final possession. We had a shot to win it, and our defense, which was the strength of that team, was on the field at the time. That's sort of the birth, if you call it.
And the raid breaks out in Columbia.
Can't put it in words. I was coaching with Coach Spurrier when they played Sandstorm the first time.
It got pretty loud, and then I think they had to call a timeout, get a play in. We played it right back over again, which was the unusual part, and the crowd just took it even to another level.
4th down, upcoming with 1:22 to go.
I kind of got a little frightened because the press box started shaking a little bit, and we win the game.
The Gamecocks with the biggest upset in the history of Williams-Brice Stadium.
Over the next decade, that Scandinavian sand danced its way into every corner of Gamecocks country.
We may. It's funny. I go to a South Carolina wedding, I hear Sandstorm. It's just kind of, it is what it is.
A techno beat that reverberated from the Atlantic to the Appalachians, finally reaching a former South Carolina assistant coach.
I was coaching at Oklahoma, and I really wanted this job. I would walk in the kitchen in our house, and my wife and kids would immediately start playing Sandstorm.
Marcus Lattimore committed to play for South Carolina. So it was at a church, and he announced he was going to South Carolina, and then Sandstorm started playing. And I just looked at my wife, and I was like, that's not normal. Like, this is kind of a thing now.
I remember my first time, it was like my heart was just beating, the crowd was going crazy, the towels and stuff.
It's really just something as a team where we all come together. This is our last chance, let's really dominate.
Since that day in 2009, the Gamecocks have stormed their way to a home record of 72-30. All that was missing from that home was the creator himself, Darude. Last fall, a Finnish DJ once again ruled the place they call Willie B, but this time in person.
I got to go and play the track. I also got to experience it from the sideline.
And yes, South Carolina won.
I think he was blown away by it. I don't think he had any idea really the magnitude of what the song that he created here in Columbia, South Carolina, and in Williams-Brice Stadium.
Great Ryan McGee on that story. And now, here he comes in his 4th year, the head coach of the South Carolina Gamecocks. Here's Shea Beamer. You know what? It's a real shame that you can't get them into football here. What are you going to do about that?
I told Pat yesterday, you just wait. And we've got the most amazing fans in the entire world. We knew they would show up today, and this is going to become a regular occurrence around here, you guys coming to Columbia.
Shane, I see your dad over there, Frank, who's one of the greatest coaches of all times until we're building the program.
Yep.
And I guess the question I have for you, having such a successful dad as a coach, what did you learn the most that's helped you the most become a head coach?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that, Coach. You're absolutely right. You know, we rode over here from the stadium, and everybody's yelling Coach and Beamer, and I still don't know which one they're talking about, whether him or me. But probably just the consistency. Week to week, and knowing what a tough profession this is in a lot of ways, but don't get too high, don't get too low. He has said that a million times, and just try and stay steady and consistent.
One of the things about your dad that we always would talk, everybody would talk about Beamer ball, defense, special teams. I know that's a mantra that you've always had. If you played there, you've been a coach, and now as your team.
Yeah.
Growing offensively, you're kind of relying more on that than ever. And let's talk a little bit about a few of these plays.
Let's go to the tape.
Yeah, we're going to go to the tape and talk about this is maybe just a game. Last week you had 5 sacks.
Yeah.
Really got after these guys. Just talk a little bit about this play.
Yeah, I think it's a great job right here. One, you see Nicky Manwari, our safety, over there into the boundary, coming up there, but then being able to sink back into the zone right there. Absolutely.
Right.
Yep, Nick's a fantastic player, can kind of do it all for us, run, pass, sinking back into the zone. You see great ball skills right there, making the interception as well. But the thing that I love, Kirk, is after he makes the interception, we spent a lot of time talking about this. Get him to the end zone. And then you watch our guys right there. We find the quarterback. You got a cavalry leading him into the end zone and then having a chance to score on defense right there.
By the way, Coach has a philosophy on interceptions. You want to, because it looked like they followed. And you just did it. Yeah. We used to teach our guy when you intercepted the ball, run right down the numbers. Everybody run to the number that's going to block for him. And you know the guy's coming down the numbers, so you can block them out or you can block them in. And that's how you score on defense. But your guys just did a great job of that.
Yeah, you talk about scoring on defense. How about scoring on special teams? Obviously, Beamer ball as a special teamer. Desmond just went over and shook the hand of the father of Beamer ball because he's a returner.
Absolutely.
A lot of time focused on this aspect of football, right?
Yeah, it's a huge aspect of it, and we spent a lot of time working on blocking kicks. But the thing that I love about this
you get up in there. You get up in there if you want.
This is an extra point. You know, so I think you can tell a lot about the character and the culture of a football team, how you play an extra point, because you just gave up a touchdown. And you can go out there and feel sorry for yourselves, or you can go out there and try and block an extra point, which our guys just did. And then the thing that I love is how excited we are. We're not happy that we just gave up a touchdown, but that's an opportunity. Anytime offense, defense, special teams is on the field, that's one thing I learned from my dad. We want to try and score and attack, and that's an opportunity right there to block a kick and go back for get 2 points.
Yeah. Coach, I wanted to ask you about your quarterback Sellers. Now, week 1, completed 43% of his passes, no touchdowns, no interceptions. But week 2, on the road, completed 73% of his passes and 2 touchdowns. What changed from week 1 to week 2 outside of the opponent?
I think, one, he just played within himself instead of maybe going out there week 1 and trying to be perfect. Just go cut it loose. And he's a great young man. He's extremely poised. He's extremely confident. And he's a gamer. Like, the bigger the moment, the better he plays. And this is the biggest moment he's played in.
Is he going goggles today or contacts? What is he doing?
We may have something new for you. Stay tuned.
Okay, good. Hey, Darius warming up. Real quick thing. We talked earlier about controlling your emotions, avoiding the roller coaster. Last week, no one believed. You showed them. Now, a lot of pats on the back this week. Game day's here, center of the universe of college football. What are you telling your guys this week about just kind of play 60 minutes, control, take this crowd in, but don't be up and down?
Yeah, just be who we say we are. We talked about it at the hotel before we came over. You guys are going to fuel us today with the energy you guys bring in the stadium, but also making sure that we don't get out there and lose our minds. Like every single play, blinders on, you have a job to do. Yeah. They've handled distractions pretty well. Other than yesterday when Coach Saban came to our walkthrough, we're pretty loose and confident. He walked out on the field, the whole team shut up. And, and even to this day, they're like, I'm not going to get my butt ripped by Nick Saban.
That's good culture. One thing you can tell your team is they improved more from week 1 to week 2 than any team I've seen in the country, and that's a tribute to you.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Coach.
And a chance to step up again in week 3. Shane Beamer, head coach of the Gamecocks. Shane, always great to have you with us. Looking forward to seeing South Carolina and LSU kicking off.
ये bald patch genetic problem ही लग रही है. किसी expert को पूछूं?
Expert. अबे जब विरासत में बंजर जमीन मिली है, तो expert क्या उखाड़ लेगा?
अबे क्या बोल रहा है यार?
अपने मैन की आवाज से बहस करेगा तू? बोला ना कुछ नहीं हो सकता?
यही सोच-सोच के पापा के सर पे भी कुछ नहीं बचा. और मेरे साथ भी यही हो ना तो तू नहीं बचेगा, समझा?
मुझे धमकी देगा? मुझे धमकी देगा तू? जानता मैं कौन हूँ?
तू मेरी मैन की आवाज है. चल कट ले. बोला ना कट ले.
अपनी मैन की आवाज को कट करो. मैन मैटर्स पर रीस्टार्ट करो with the hair growth experts. 150 plus doctors, 100 plus coaches, personalized hair solutions. Man Matters, expert care for men. Download now.
Everything you need to know for your next trip with Agoda in 10 seconds. Cheap hotels, cheap flights, cheap activities. Save on all your travel needs with Agoda. Book now.
Tailgate because guess what? There's not a lot of space, but there's cold beer, there's air conditioning, and there's a bathroom. So they got me. You'll only find this right here in South Carolina.
Man, what a great place to tailgate. A cool scene right outside Williams-Brice. Still to come. Alabama and Wisconsin. And a all-of-me moment for a Wisconsin walk-on. A remarkable story that Jen Latta will bring you for the Wisconsin player. And Darius Rucker, Dawn Staley bringing the energy. The Gamecock women's basketball team is here. Darius Rucker is going to perform. What a morning in Columbia, South Carolina.
The truth about DIY is you never really do it all by yourself.
Because this setup took 2 videos and a quick demo. You can change your color here. And all of this started here, detoured here, and ended
down here.
And this pizza wasn't delivery. This was. I wonder if they do have it.
We do. So whenever you start a project,
don't worry.
You're not alone.
We can do this together.
So what are you working on?
The thing about favorites is they're only your favorite until a new favorite tells your old favorite to beat it.
Introducing the all-new Sonic Smasher. So good, it's about to be your next new favorite.
Yo, I'm not a big fan of change, but I'm willing to try it. I gotta tell people about this. Yo.
The all-new Sonic Smasher. Live free, eat Sonic.
Wanna live free?
On a tense Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Holy smoke, State 1 and the fans are going wild. Deputy Urias, quick, call for backup.
Backup?
Yes, Deputy Quinn Urias.
We don't need any backup, I got this.
Call backup.
I'm sorry, did you say you wanted a Dr. Pepper?
I said backup.
Look, we don't need any backup, even if he has great hair and famous relatives.
I think we're talking about 2 different things here.
College football, it's a Pepper thing.
You know I made it to the playoff.
Without any backup, I get it.
You found an amazing bargain with this place. If you don't take it, I will.
The listing mentioned ocean views?
Yes, it's ocean view adjacent. See that place? Well, if you look through it, you'll see a gorgeous ocean view.
If it's important, it's not worth compromising, which is why with Farmers, you don't have to compromise quality to get great savings on your insurance.
Oh, look, a seagull.
That's a pigeon. seagull adjacent.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Kelsey, what up?
I think I messed up, Hank. I don't think I can walk away from football.
Say less. I got you. Jason Daniel Kelsey, welcome back to football.
This is a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Exactly. Where you watch all the games while stuffing your face with, like, the greatest wings.
So good.
And all the beer.
There we go. Let's go.
See? B-Dubs is football.
It's football.
It's football.
Let's go, sports.
Well, the gang's all here. Let's hit the road.
It's the Disney Plus Blockbuster offer.
That's right.
$199 a month for 3 months of Disney Plus.
That's a great idea.
Get the hottest shows.
Great. You can say that again.
Biggest movies.
Ready? Hit it!
And most epic events.
What happens next?
For a limited time, get 3 months of Disney Plus for $199 a month.
Join me.
With the Disney Plus Blockbuster offer.
Hey, Mama rock me. Play that fiddle, G. Walking to the south out of Roanoke, I got a trucker out of Philly, had a nice long talk, but he's a headed west from the Cumberland Gap to Johnston City. I gotta get a move on me for the sun. I hear my baby calling my name, and I know that he's the only one. If I die in Raleigh, at least I will die free. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Yeah, rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, yeah, mama, rock me, yeah. Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me, yeah.
Hell yeah, Hootie. Hell yeah.
The great Darius Rucker, wheels up, making sure our friend of College Game Day, made it here. Nick, you've been waiting on that song all morning.
I'll tell you what, I want Darius Rucker to know. Every Saturday night we had a karaoke party at our house in recruiting, and the #1 requested song was Wagon Wheel. For good reason.
He's a closer. Apparently it was here too. Nick's former assistant, B.O.B., leading Boston College. You know, Boston College could beat 2 top 10 teams in the same season for the first time since they beat Tennessee and Georgetown. Georgetown was 1940, really long time. And then Missouri. Missouri hasn't allowed a point yet. Their defense has been sensational. Maybe they get Luther Burden loose today. That game is coming up about 12:45 Eastern time. Time for Best in the Game. Brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, and Eli Drinkwitz is certainly helping Mizzou fans keep promises. 11 consecutive scoreless quarters. That is the longest streak by an SEC team since Nick's great Alabama team in 2012 that went on to win the national championship. Now AT&T is keeping us connected as we go to Columbia, Missouri, Boston College in Missouri, and our friend Eli Drinkwitz. Hey, Eli, who do you have? You got somebody with you there walking the field right now?
Yeah, you know, it's all the rage apparently with Herb Street and Kiffin to have a dog with them. So I brought my good friend out of the engineering department, Tiger, our robotics dog. So I figured I'd join in on that.
That's pretty good. That's hilarious. Nah, we gotta get down there so Ben can meet that Tiger.
We need Ben to alpha that dog.
Yeah, exactly.
We need Ben to win. We need to for the future, for the good of the future.
That's beautiful.
Right there.
Hey, Eli, you had...
Look at that dog sitting.
he minds like Ben, too.
He does. He does. That is great. Hey, Eli, appreciate you hopping on with us. Tell us about this football team. You guys have looked very good here early. Bigger test today, obviously, against Boston College. But just overall, such great year last year, so much to build on, but I know it's a new year, new team. What have you learned about this group that has you excited?
Yeah, so far I think offensively we've kind of just picked up where we left off. We replaced a couple of guys on the lines of scrimmage and at the running back position. Obviously Brady Cook and Luther Burden and Theo Weiss have kind of been the features for us. But the thing that's been so impressive to me has been our defensive play. It's really not about any one player. I mean, we're rotating a lot of guys. We're playing 22 to 24 guys, and they're playing to a standard. They're playing with relentless effort. Now, they're going to be tested today, unlike they've been tested so far. I mean, Thomas Castellanos and that offensive line, combined with their rushing attack, is really going to put our guys at the test today. But I feel like, we've built the lines of scrimmage the way you need to in this league, and so that's going to be where this game's battled at.
Eli, the mindset of your team, challenges from having success last year, new year. How's the mindset been? You guys have been dominant in your first two performances. What's the challenges to being able to maintain that kind of focus as we move on in the season?
Yeah, well, the first thing is, they let me listen in to you make jokes and stuff on game day, and I'm jealous as crap because I'm nervous, sick to my stomach, and you're telling jokes about karaoke. But, I think the mindset for our team is this is a new thing. This is a new team. We've got 46 new players. We got new guys on the defensive staff, and we don't want to be compared to last year. We want to be compared to this year. We want to be our team, this team, in a new thing, and so for us, it's about finding that identity each and every week. The only thing that can separate you from your goals is yourself and how you prepare each week. And so our team has been focused in on not being arrogant about whether or not we play in the SEC or anything like that. It's about proving this week that we can play consistent football for 60 minutes.
I just want to make sure you're not using that dog to steal signals or anything during
See? Cracking jokes again. No, this dog's not a signal stealer.
Little Carter Stallion's a little robotic dog. Go ahead, Dad. Sorry.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about your wideout, Luther Burden. I can see what he's doing on the field. He's an exceptional talent, but talk about what type of leader he is off the field for your receiving group and for the offense.
Yeah, Desmond, we actually used you as an example. I think one of the things when you have elite players is you have to identify team goals and personal goals and mesh them together. And Luther wants to identify himself as one of the best players in the country, and the only way to do that is to be a dominant player in special teams. So, I went back and pulled all the great guys who have returned punts for touchdowns, because that's really the only way as a wideout you're going to have an opportunity to compete to be the best player in the country. And so I showed him clips of you, Devontae Smith, Reggie Bush, Charles Woodson, and that's the kind of thing that motivates him. And so he's had a whole new approach to his game and to his demeanor and his practice, which I think elevates the rest of the team. When they see a player who's got all the accolades and all the talk.
The man from Motilal Oswal is back.
I don't give tips, only solid advice. Guys, an app without an advisor is like a pen without ink. Always incomplete. Never forget the 3 R's of investment. Research, and research. Sir.
The man from Motilal Oswal. Solid research, solid relationships. Before you invest, call us 92345 92345.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Nuclear research, medical reactors in the country on our campus. So there's a lot of really cool things here. Now, about losing Cody Schrader, you don't replace Cody Schrader. You don't replace heart and toughness and daily demonstration of leadership. But what you do try to do is you try to get other guys to emulate those things. And Marcus Carroll, Nate Noel, those guys have really stepped in. They've adopted this low ego, high output approach. And it ain't really about who's getting the carries. It's about getting our offense in the end zone.
Dogs everywhere down there.
There's one of them, Brady Cook, hoping to have a big game against Boston College. Drink, thanks a lot for being with us. Always a pleasure to have you, my friend.
Thank you. M-I-Z.
Z-O-U, bud. Don't pet that dog.
Now we've got to get to the other Columbia, too, because Ben has to meet this dog.
Yes.
I mean, so it's on the Tigers to make sure it gets done. Alabama ventures into Madtown, only the 3rd time the Crimson Tide and the Badgers have played Kalen DeBoer's first road game as the head coach of the Crimson Tide. And Alabama hasn't been to Madison since 1928, but one member of the Tide staff has lived through jump around. Wide receivers coach Jamarcus Shepard lost there twice as a Purdue assistant, and he warned his team this week that they're going to go in and face a bunch of grizzly bears, guys with grown man beards coming out from the chin strap, and they have to be ready to embrace the fight. So he showed them some clips from the movie Troy and said, like Achilles, you have to invite the fight and take it. Well, the first thing for Alabama is making sure that they stop fighting themselves and making mistakes, their Achilles heel.
It was very ugly for Alabama, but they find a way to get it done.
It's frustrating to not perform at your best ability. It was just us not playing to the Bama standard.
The number one thing we have to do is acknowledge where we need to grow at, and then reflect and build off of that.
A Big Ten SEC showdown, Alabama Crimson Tide traveling to Wisconsin.
Obviously, it's a great opportunity for us to show on a national stage who we are. We can't get out of the framework of your preparation just because it's a bigger game.
The guys came in excited, ready to go with the challenge that lies ahead with Wisconsin.
They pride themselves on being tough guys. They play hard, physical. Right now we're 2-0. The morale in the locker room is very good. Everybody's confident in each other and what we're doing.
We really get to see where we are and who we are. If you want to be the best, you got to play the best. And this just gives you that opportunity.
Game will kick off a little bit after noon as we take a look at today's Goodyear road test, and it certainly will be one for the Crimson Tide against unranked non-conference opponents. They've been really good. Probably worth noting here that both teams will be missing a linebacker in the first half. Jake Chaney from Wisconsin, Justin Jefferson from Alabama, both ejected in the second half of last week's game for targeting, so they'll be in the second half. A rare matchup between these two shades of red, LC.
It definitely is. This is Alabama's game, first time in 96 years. And Madison, listen to this. Wisconsin won that game 15-0. Just thought I'd mention it. Yeah, Wisconsin is a type team that gives Alabama trouble. They can run the ball, they control the clock, they can kick it. If you're a great field goal kicker, they play solid defense. I'm telling you right now, this game is going to be much closer than the experts say. No question about it.
If Wisconsin does that, they're going to have to contain the big playability of Jam Miller, Justice Haynes, Ryan Williams, who we talked about earlier, of course, Jalen Milroe. The Alabama fans got to be a little bit concerned about the injuries that Reese touched on earlier up front. They were very sloppy last week. 13 penalties on offense, 3 fumbles that they lost. They've had 6 fumbles in their first 2 games. So if that happens, that trend has to continue to keep them in this football game, because contain the big playability and win the turnover margin. And the Badgers always have a shot if they can do that at home.
I think a trend of a Luke Fickell team is normally going to be very sound on defense. Well, you're going to have to be, because this Alabama team is very capable of explosive plays. Hey, Coach Saban, let's go to the tape. Okay, I got some tape on this Alabama team, and I'll tell you, Jalen Milroe's quarterback is always going to be awesome. Now, this is an incredible blocking scheme. Obviously, they go down, and then the center and guard come around, and Jam goes to the crib. Now, he's going to make 2 people miss, but utilizing the leverage from the tackle, able to get down the sideline. And you thought he was done breaking tackles? This guy's special. He's able to throw people through the dirt. He's got the power and the speed. Ryan Williams, this is a 17-year-old. Now, listen, they run a little slide protection here. Jalen has nothing but time. And Ryan Williams, a 17-year-old, able to find a spot in the middle of the field, go up and get it at the high point, break a couple tackles. Once again, 17 years old, dancing in the end zone. And then Jalen Milroe. We learned about him last year. Let a naysayer know is how Reese Davis delivered it all. There's a bunch of those still for Jalen Milroe, because Coach Saban isn't there. He's a dog. He's a beast. He's a freight train, and he's obviously able to throw the ball incredibly well. He's a leader of that team. You know that better than anybody. Yeah. And on the field, they've gotten better. They're able to hit the home runs. They're able to do things close. They got to continue to build the intermediate game, I think is what Coach Saban said the entire time.
No, he's right about that. And you know that Alabama's going to want to hit the home run ball. When you look at a Luke Fickell defense, they're going to be fundamentally sound, very disciplined. They're going to keep everything in front of them. Their goal is to make you earn every yard that you get. They're going to test the patience of Jalen Milroe and see if they can sustain 12, 14-yard drives. If they can slow the game down like that and then be able to experience some sort of success, and then in the third quarter they start doing that jump around, things can get crazy at Camp Randall, man. I'm telling you.
I've never got to play
well,
there.
I've been there before, so it's a tough place to play.
It
when
is.
The fans get into it. But, to me, the biggest issue with Alabama so far has been their big, little. And I always hated when our offense played big, little. You make a lot of big plays, but then you have a lot of negative plays and inefficiency on offense, whether it's sacks, fumbles, penalties, all the things that put you behind the down and distance so you can't sustain long drives and keep the ball and control the tempo of the game.
Right.
So I think with the offensive line getting fixed today, I think both tackles will play today, which they didn't play last week. I think that will help a lot because most of the teams that struggle, they're struggling up front. And hopefully Alabama can get that fixed today.
Yeah, and Pete Thamel did confirm that Caden Proctor, the left tackle for the Crimson Tide, should see his first action of the season.
Yeah, I think that's important, Coach. When you go on the road, you want a good offensive line, and they're going to have that for the first time that they thought they were going to have in week one. But the defense of Alabama, there's a lot of youth in that secondary. Can Van Dyke make some plays with his arm to offset that Alabama offense? That's where I think it's a chess match. Both coaches, I think, are going to learn a ton about their team today.
And last week, they couldn't get the ball downfield. He's 2 of 9 on balls thrown 15 yards or further. Against Alabama, man, that is going to be very, very hard. That's where you go back to, can they win the turnover margin? Can they get that short field? Get the crowd, kind of like what South Carolina is going to have to try to do against LSU. Very similar.
Yeah, and on that subject there, I know the level of competition stepped up. Alabama's defense has allowed one play this year of longer than 20 yards. The Crimson Tide, as you mentioned, sort of lived on the other side of the ball with
drive the
those
ball
big plays. This is a great opportunity for Wisconsin for sure to be able to knock off a top 5 team with Alabama coming in. We are headed inside Williams-Brice Stadium in a matter of moments. This has been a great crowd out here this morning. And Jen, as Wisconsin gets ready to play the Crimson Tide today, what a story surrounding the Badgers.
Yeah, guys, it is the closeness and the camaraderie. It is the bonds and the brotherhood. When you talk to guys who have long left the game of football, that is the stuff that they miss. And the moments often not seen on camera, but in this case it was, that create that culture of trust and support and family.
Next up for the O.
Derek Jensen. During camp, when the days are getting long, morale might be dipping a little bit, we'll have like the freshman karaoke, it's called. And you get to pick your song, and you just got to sing in front of the whole team.
Like many offensive linemen, 19-year-old Wisconsin freshman Derek Jensen says he doesn't like the spotlight. But sometimes when it shines, it reveals some beautiful things.
Falls in our family have always been for football. I was a team photographer for 7 years, and his dad, Jack, was a coach when Derek was little.
I think it was just a way for him to get closer to the game. He really liked coming to the games. He was always there.
Derek was a 2-time All-State offensive lineman in Wisconsin. And when it was time to pick the place he would continue his football journey, his father was all in on one program.
He loved the Badgers when I committed. I just knew it was the right choice to make.
I thought it would be our time to finally have grown children who were doing their own thing, and that Jack and I could really sit back and enjoy. Yeah, that's what I was looking forward to.
On February 10th, 2024, Jack was hunting alone about an hour and a half north of the Jensen's Wisconsin home. When he didn't return after dark and wasn't answering his phone, Derek's mom, Hillary, and his older brother, Aiden, went looking for him.
He had finished his hunt, and he had packed up all his gear. And he hadn't even shut the door on his truck, and we basically found him by the ping on his phone. Just gone. Just gone.
My mom and my brother woke me up. They were just crying, and they just tried to hug me, and it was just, I don't know. It doesn't really feel real when it first happens. That's kind of how I would describe it.
Jack Jensen died of a suspected heart attack at the age of 54. A few months later, Derek made his way to Madison to begin his college football career.
When you lose someone that's such a big fixture in your lives, I don't even think we realized right away what a hole he had left.
It's difficult in ways that I didn't really expect. He was that rock in your life that will always...
जमलेल्या माझ्या तमाम हिंदू बांधवांनो, भगिनींनो आणि मातांनो,
आता मी नसतो ऐकत ठाकरे साहेब. प्रताप आहे मी प्रताप. काय चला व्हायचंय ते होऊन जाऊ देत.
चुकून जर काही बरं वाईट झालं ना तर संपूर्ण महाराष्ट्र पेटेल.
ऐसे कैसे हो तुम, देखे सब होश हर कोई झूम कर गाए. माए हो त्योहार आया रे, अब रोज 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 आना रे. आना जी तुम आना, तुम आना रे.
और एलिया, आप जहाँ त्योहार वहाँ.
Words to best, and I do really like John Legend's music. Super nervous, yeah.
I hear the song, I was like, oh, that's a bold song choice.
So I just kind of wanted to give him some words of encouragement, tell him to lock in.
Everyone was shocked. I mean, he rocked it.
Once he got warmed up, he went absolutely crazy. The guys were loving it. My heart was hurting for him when I found out, because obviously I have a father. I know how much he means to me, so I can only imagine what Derek was actually going through. You just never know what people are going through. You never know what's on people's plate.
After that moment, you've seen a weight lifted off his shoulders. When a group like that embraces you, I think it's really, really powerful for young guys.
It's really reassuring to see a bunch of young men like that who are just truly supporting. That says a lot to me.
You just know somebody next to you has always got your back. And I think that's really what makes football special, because you're going through it together.
You give me all of you. Oh.
Head coach Luke Fickell told me he was hesitant to have Derek perform that day, given everything he had been through over the last 6 months. But he said he doesn't need to protect his guys from the uncomfortable because he knows they have each other's back. As you know, that clip went viral, seen by hundreds of thousands of people, including one very important and very relevant superstar, Mr. John Legend himself, who said, "I love it." Just a really incredible moment with the Badgers family. Let's go over to Jess Sims, who is with another very important person here in South Carolina.
I sure am. Jen, that was absolutely beautiful. Don hit me and said, "We have to go after that." I said, "Come on, we're fine. We got this." Now, Coach, South Carolina is known as a women's basketball school, but now College Game Day is here for football. Your ladies behind us are being honored at halftime. How big is this for your program?
I mean, this is not just huge for our program, but the state of South Carolina, the city of Columbia. There is no better place, there's no better fans that show up and show out like our Gamecocks.
Well, I was going to say, you have a special name for them. They're not just the Gamecock fans, they're the FAMS.
They're the fans because we consider them family. They show up. It's cloudy, it's raining, but yet we got thousands of fans right here supporting our Gamecocks.
It's incredible. And I was at practice yesterday, so thanks so much for letting me come and watch this magic happen. Your girls were up here doing TikTok dances. They're connected. They're strong. What are you most looking forward to with this crew this year?
What I'm most looking forward to right now, though, Jess, I didn't get my workout in, but because you and I are standing here, I feel like I'm okay. All right? Y'all know who Jess is, right? Peloton, right?
I was going to say, you want to get some
do your
push-ups
class. No, I don't want to do any classes now, but excited for this group, for this team to, what we call it, Raven? What's the repeat tour? Let's go.
I absolutely love that. I mean, you've had a huge summer, a huge week, and now you're finishing off as the game day guest picker. Did you do your research?
I did my research, but the Alabama-Wisconsin, it might have swayed me a little bit. Because of the story. Y'all did a great job. I don't know if I'm going to roll Tide roll, but the Badgers have my heart right now.
I heard some boos. I'm not sure, but you still got about 45 minutes to figure it out. The guys are going into the stadium right now. They're headed into Willie B. You're about to head in. Thank you so much for your time, Coach. There's so much more coming up on College Game Day. Don't go anywhere.
It's Jimmy John's new Mediterranean wraps, made with Sabra, hummus, and feta cheese, so you can enjoy fresh summer flavors with every bite. Hey, Cloud, psst, beat it. Much better. Now at Jimmy John's.
What's wrong? My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation. Are you crying? No. Are you crying because of that other card? No. There's no crying in baseball. Or with the Capital One Venture Card, because it lets you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day. And you can use those miles on any travel purchase. And you know why? There's no crying with the Venture Card. What's in your wallet? Let's play ball!
I had 20 years of experience as an HR professional, and I had reached a ceiling, so I enrolled in UMGC. I would not be the person that I am today had it not been for the partnership with UMGC.
Litter Robot has now solved the litter box problem for over 1 million pet parents around the world. Hi, I'm Brad Baxter, founder of Whisker and Litter Robot. You'll never scoop again, and your cat will always have a clean bed of litter. Try Litter Robot today.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
Should we sell the car and get something bigger?
Yeah, we can do both on Cars.com.
But what if it's twins? What if it's quadruplets?
Are you freaking out?
I got this.
Cars.com. Where to next?
She's got an NFL offer.
Don't play with me.
I think I'm gonna take it.
Aren't you a little too old to be playing football?
Wait, what?
They want somebody that can run a 40, not somebody that is 40. When the coach calls your number, you gonna say G56, bingo. How you gonna celebrate a win? You gonna give everybody butterscotch candy? Probably out your pocket with no wrappers on it. Just gonna give them raw candy. That's nasty, by the way.
With DraftKings, new customers bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets and a month of NFL Plus Premium. The crown is yours.
What's this? Aflac Duck signed me to an NIL deal. An NIL deal? It's name, injury, and likeness. Aflac. With a name like Prime, an injury like mine, and a likeness so fine, that's a triple threat.
Couldn't we just tell people Aflac pays cash for expenses not covered by health insurance?
If we want people to understand how Aflac helps close that gap, we got to get you to think bigger, Coach.
You gotta be kidding.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Aflac is an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
Miss Terry's not gonna like this.
Trouble.
The $6 meal deal is here. It starts with Dunkin's legendary coffee, a toasty, melty bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and a crispy, crumbly order of hash browns. It's kind of the biggest deal in breakfast. The $6 meal deal, available now.
It's officially Taco Bell Live Más Student Section season.